everybody. Hello, and welcome to Charmed Persons. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you having a great Sunday. Uh, hope you're having a good weekend so far. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning slash afternoon, and thank you for joining us. So we are going to just jump right in with a recap of how we've gotten here. So here we go. Our party has officially been together for 58 days. Their newest member, being Ray, joined them a few weeks after, making her time with the party around 40 days at this point. Though this number of days may seem a minuscule blip in the vastness of time, it has proven to be the hardest, most fascinating, and ethically introspective 58 days our party has ever endured. They have witnessed companions perish. They have caused the death of many more, although most, if not all of them, deservedly so. They have encountered magics and divine displays that some people in Erubrion only hear tales of. They've fought cannibals, mages, giants, and a dragon. And they've always come out on the other side. This kind of journey forms a communal bond that is hard to describe. As short as the time has been, our party has grown closer and closer, and even become a second family, to most, if not all, of the party. They look out for each other, they protect each other, but they also challenge one another and help each other grow, as reluctant as that growth may be at times. So, after all this, they find themselves in the midst of a worldwide danger. At least 4 confirmed adult dragons are currently causing havoc and mayhem in many of the major cities. With creatures of such power and magic like dragons being gone for so many years, the cities didn't have the defenses needed to thwart these attacks, and many have been slain and injured. The party has put it upon themselves to use the natural, divine, and arcanic abilities they have been given to put a stop to this onslaught from the dragons. However, as much as they've grown and as capable and as powerful as they are, our party has learned that the path that they are choosing to go down will not be an easy one. The dragon that they slew was released again into the world from its gemstone prison after a severe underestimation of the dragon's manipulative abilities by certain members of the party. The evil mage, Xavier Synax, who they managed to stop from summoning an ancient horror into the material plane, was somehow still alive. Not only was he alive, but he was watching the party and tormenting its members with his presence, revealing himself and promising their destruction. After a series of deep, meaningful, and reflective conversations, our party decided to head to Duskulf via Pine Drift to visit Atticus's family and then find the Red Dragon. Upon arriving in Pine Drift, a wonderful reunion was had, as well as introductions made with Atticus's family. There was a member Atticus did not expect to see, his father, Phineas. Immediately, Atticus let out his wrath on his father before being pried off by Rev and Elburn. His father left the establishment, known as the Rare Goat Inn, out of attempted respect for Atticus's wishes. This prompting a swift gut check from Georgia, Atticus's sister, and her mother chasing after Phineas. Atticus turned his attention to his grandfather, Eustace, and informed him of the perils of their recent travels. Eustace ordered 2 bottles of clear water, aka butt water, so that the sours could be drowned in drink. And that is where we left off. You, the never-ending party, find yourselves in the Rare Goat Inn. The evening sun has almost completely set. The sounds of creatures of the night begin to fill the ambience of the air around you. The crackling fire in the corner of the inn sings with warmth and light. The wooden tables at which you sit are very finely made now that you have the time to take a moment to appreciate them. Pine Drift mainly being a lumber village, many woodworkers have found their homes here, and even the simplest of furniture echoes the talent that they have. The inn itself is modest yet beautifully crafted. Two long staircases on either side of the main tavern disappear into the second floor where the rooms are held. The banisters along the railings of these staircases have ornate carvings, abstract, nothing really to point out, down alongside them. Each post and rafter that supports the large tavern area of the inn is well made with abstract designs carved all around. You sit at two larger tables that have been pushed together to accommodate your company. Atticus sits next to his grandfather Eustace, as two empty chairs represent his mother and sister. The rest of you sit around this same table, enjoying strong, cold drinks and warm, hearty food of your choosing. Warm breads and seasoned meats fill your nostrils with a savory aroma. Those who wish have their selection of root vegetable stew or sweet, crisp fruits from the hill Goth Grove to satiate your appetite. The inn is beginning to fill with more and more local patrons as the work and chores of the day begin to wrap up. A duo of elvish gentlemen sit close to the fireplace. One whips out a lute, and the other some type of pan flute, and they begin to fill the establishment with a peaceful song. What would you like to do?
Alright, are we getting drunk tonight? Or are
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I just,
Yeah. Our party has been together 58 days.
Are we getting drunk or are we having a chill night? I mean, I already had one at the other place, but after a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10.
I mean, I should probably check after my. I should probably run after my mom, but I could probably stay and have 1 or 2.
Or 3 or 4.
I gotta catch up with the old man. I'll tell him like everything that's happened. And
Yeah.
Atticus is definitely embellishing his own input in the events to his grandpa. If any of you guys want to correct him, but he's definitely making himself seem like this fucking great guy.
It depends on how drunk I get.
I take silent notes about your behavior.
Like actual writing.
Yeah.
Or...
Interesting.
You're telling... So you're telling me you just sliced his head off?
he's right off. He's crazy. Craziest
plain
thing I've ever
off.
seen.
And he's not dead.
No.
Wow.
That's some bullshit. And he cut it off. I stomped it into paste. Sorry, that's not necessarily like table talk. But
All right.
I did. Like
He puts down the bite that he was about to take.
He's got some anger problems.
if
No,
you
I-
look at the bottom of my boot. I think there's still some like skull. All right.
Well, I'm glad you're here, son.
Me too. What happened? When I left, he was gone. I know these dragons attacked and
Well,
Mom decided to take him in, but
we assumed that, he made his way to some town, some village. But apparently, once he basically got out of our eyesight, he turned right around almost immediately. Started following us. He stayed within range of us, just kind of living off the land if he had to. If the city was big enough, he stayed there too. Making sure he was around. You gotta understand, Atticus. I completely understand where you're coming from and why you're upset. However, devil's advocate, we are all that man has. So, he stuck around. And when the dragon flew overhead, he was worried. He got scared. He ran into town. He approached us. And we talked. He told us everything that he had been through. He told us how sorry he was. He told us the real reason and the real events of what happened back in Steepcliff.
What were they? He refused to tell me what they were.
I know. He was still, in his own way, trying to protect you. And I know that seems hard to believe. But he got into some trouble with a group known as the Great Tip Vanguards. And they offer protection to some of the villages and towns near the Great Tips because, I mean, you know, the Great Tips house creatures and monsters that, you know, they're horrible and they're dangerous. And so they offer protection from those and bandit camps and thus forth. But he soon ran out of money to be able to pay him. So he had to start offering other things. His services and certain jobs of theirs, you know, items from the house, items from other people's houses. And it soon got to where he was very much in over his head. And lost a lot of the town's wealth because of it. And, well, you know the rest.
Yeah. I mean, that's just not the man who I thought he was. That's not the man who he raised me to be. I may be overreacted a little bit, kicking him out into the wilderness. I don't know. I've never felt so betrayed.
I think you
Punches
have
were good for him.
What was that?
The punches were good for him. So, like, that was nice.
Well, he did teach me how to fight.
He knew what he was doing there.
Like I said, Atticus, I'm not gonna judge the way you feel, because I felt that way too. He's my own son. But I eventually came to realize that everything he did, as dumb as it was to protect us, to protect the town.
We could have helped him.
Well, he gets his pride honest.
I get that.
Maybe just give him a chance. Just try talking to him.
I'll talk to him.
And if you still decide that you don't want to have anything to do with him, I'll respect that. But I respect.
Do you know where they may have
Go
run
ahead.
off to? You know where they
Uh,
may have ran off to?
yeah, probably where he's staying. He's not staying in the inn. There's a local woman. Her husband recently died. She's quite old, and he's been doing some work around her house and in her yard and keeping her, you know, maintained, I guess. And he's been staying with her.
Keeping her maintained?
Yeah, just making sure she's okay. She's quite old.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I should. I'll go try to catch up with him, and I'll stand up and go to walk away, and I'll look back. I'll say, Avra, do you mind coming with me?
Oh,
You're muted.
yeah, for sure. No problem.
Thanks. And I'll just kind of walk away.
Yeah, he tells you where the house is, and you walk out, and Aver joins you. What do the rest of you do as you sit there around the table?
I just keep eating food and making weird hand gestures, or mildly inappropriate, and continue to just get drunk. Because, you know, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I'll probably be throwing some back as well. Also, I'm very interested, and this, I don't know if this plays into your ideas, Zach, but it's very interesting that a couple weeks or however long it was that Atticus and I got into an altercation about the Great Tip Vanguards and how they killed his father.
Yeah.
And so if he knew Am I under the assumption now that he knew his father was alive and he basically lied to me?
Yeah, I mean, he said to his grandpa that he kicked him out of the family, so you know that he did lie to you, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it is something that I have clocked, especially with Atticus being as altruistic and as honest as he claims to be.
Yeah, he has claimed many times that honesty is something that is very important to him.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, so that's just something that's kind of cultivating.
Yeah, I love that. Pharaoh, Kelpie, you guys, Rev, you guys still just chilling around the table?
I order some sherry from the bar.
Yeah, they have some, sure.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Finally.
I sip it painfully slow.
Yeah, great.
I would like to go to just up to Pharaoh and ask if I could like have just a tiny sip because I haven't quite found my drink yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course. I love to share the splendors of sherry.
Share the sherry.
Do you?
Yeah, describe to her what it tastes like.
Yeah, please. I mean,
There are, earthly notes of some cinnamon. There's beautiful floral aroma as well of some dark cherry. The after finish tastes a little bit like oak, but pleasantly so.
Those are all indeed earthly
Wow.
flavors, Pharaoh.
ah.
Yeah, I know my shit.
Did you just say shit?
Pharaoh,
I'm
are you
tipsy.
a little? I was
Tipsy? That's not even a quarter of the way gone.
Oh, he's tipsy then.
I'm tipsy. I'm old.
Yeah, Rev would have ordered a sherry too, just because he was interested, and would have like not caught the cue of like sipping it. And
Yeah.
Oh, another one, I guess, and he'll sip that.
I sip
Great.
my glass of butt water and just look at everybody just like, fucking.
Yeah, if you're just straight up still drinking butt water, you're getting pretty drunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. He hadn't been even at the.
No, I'm just letting you. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just going for it.
Yeah. What about you, Kelpie?
She wants to feel included and get back on the people's good side, so she's also going to drink sherry.
Okay, so you order a glass of sherry, and what was the name? Gosh, let me go back.
Sherry, baby.
Sherry.
I actually had sherry this week. I used it.
Oh, yes,
It actually is super delicious.
I cooked it.
The human woman with kind of like messy sandy blonde hair put up in a bun. You order a bow. You order the sherry, and she looks at you. How old are you?
I try to get like the bartender's attention, like low key.
And try to say.
Cranberry juice.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. Yeah.
Kelby's gonna think she loves sherry.
Alcohol.
23.
23. Yeah, I won't
Wow.
make. No passes are going around that. So, she kind of looks at you and gives you a little wink, and then looks back at Kelpie and says, "One glass of sherry coming right up."
Thank you. I am old enough.
Okay. All right. And she comes over with the glass and she says, "I apologize for intruding. This one's on the house." And she puts it down in front of you, and you take a sip of it, and it is very sweet, with a very, very slight bitter taste that complements it very well. It's it kind of makes the cheeks tingle. It's nice.
Sherry tastes really cranberry.
It's good, right? Yeah.
It's very good. This is the
Oh,
first drink
it
I've had
shouldn't
at
taste
a
like
place like
cranberry.
this. You think I have a bad batch? Should you taste mine?
I think it's just a new bottle.
You might just need a more
open
refined
it.
palate.
Oh, okay.
A refined palate.
It's honestly a pleasure to share the wonders of sherry with new drinkers. So, I'm happy, Ray and Kelpie, and I saw you drink that Rev. Cheers.
Cheers.
Vix is also there, and he just has a simple mug of ale and it's funny to watch him drink it as a lizard folk. He just he leans his snout down, and the tongue just kind of snakes it up. It's not the most publicly appealing thing, but it's how he
You
gets
want
his
to do
drink.
a shot of clear? What do they call it now? It's not, but it's clear water.
Me?
You remember that? It was the good stuff.
I'm good.
It's literally no one else.
I'll try
But
it again.
You.
I like
Well-
sherry now.
I'm
being-
beaming with
I
pride.
want everyone to know right now I am being very nice. And I make eye contact with every single person.
That's very forceful eye contact you are for being nice.
Does anybody of
Very
age
nice.
that I'm not a little mad at want to have some? I can't drink alone. This is silly. Ray,
You're not
please.
drinking. You're not drinking alone.
Just
We're
have a glass
drinking
of
too.
sherry,
We're just not
yeah.
having.
Yeah, just have a glass of sherry.
Yeah, you can have your drink. We can have ours.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then I go and I order. Excuse me, can I have a sherry?
Yes. And then she, as she walks away, she looks at Rev. Okay, and she comes back and she hands you a glass of actual sherry.
Awesome.
How
And I
much?
just have both in my hand, and I sip from both.
Let me just get this out of the way because I don't want to forget. Over the night, you guys probably spend, I want to say, a total of 10 gold on drinks. Because you drink quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's quite a
getting
bit.
wasted.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
getting
so 10 gold from whoever wants to, or if party fund or whatever, but 10 gold needs to go away from somebody.
I'll do it.
I haven't been hanging on to any gold, so Avery, can I borrow some gold?
I'm not there.
Avra's not there.
You
I was
can-
gonna
you
say
can
I'll
have
take
some
it out of the party
Ava?
fund.
Yeah.
I have the
Somebody-
party
Where's
fund.
Avra?
Nice.
Ever took the party.
I got it.
There's a reason why Rev's the one keeping the toilet.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
You
Wow.
I
Elburn's
popped
just
out
paying
that
for
gold.
everybody.
My hero.
Well, not everybody. I don't know about that guy in the corner.
I'll Venmo you later.
But where's
Um,
Avra? I miss her.
Speaking
I have
of,
one back here.
we cut back to slightly earlier, where you have made your way through Pine Drift. As I said, the sun has practically set now, so there's two people going on either side of the main street to the lanterns that are implanted in the street and just kind of lighting those to give some light to the night around everybody. There are some people moving to and fro, not too many. A lot of people are heading in the way of the Rare Goat Inn. Some are heading the way of the Cunning Frog. And you make your way, given the directions from your grandfather, to this small house that's somewhat close by. It's on the corner of the main street before it snakes off into an alleyway behind most of the houses. And it's a small gray house, just one story. And you approach it and you see in the main window that there's a kitchen table, and it's lit with a lantern on the table and then some various candles throughout the room. So it's not too hard to tell that you see your mother and your sister and your father sitting around that table chatting.
Before we go in, Ava, I really want to thank you for coming with me. I don't really know how this is going to go. Last couple times I've talked to him, it hasn't ended well, but you've kind of helped me see some other sides to some issues.
Yeah, can I give you some advice or insight or
Yes, please.
whatever?
Please.
I don't know. I've been sitting back all night, just sort of watching your family, and even recent events aside, that's not anything that I've ever had or known or been to, and I know you have issues with your dad, and it sounds like they're justified. But don't leave yourself with regret. You have your mom and your dad both in there right now.
right?
But
And
I'm
I'll
here
knock
for
on the
you.
door.
Whatever.
I appreciate it.
You're muted.
I can't hear.
Beg
I
your-
can't hear Zach.
I was eating chips. I didn't want you to hear it. You knock on the door and it swings open, and you see your father there, standing in front of you. At first, it's very slight. Your father's a proud man. However, you do notice that there is a slight flinch as soon as he sees you. But he steels himself, and he looks at you, and he says, "Son."
Dad.
Would you like to come in?
Yeah, please. Can we
Yeah.
sit down?
Yeah, please. And he lets you in and looks at Avra. And Avra, as you approach the doorway, he extends a hand and he says, "My name is Phineas Varcona.
I'm Avra. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you." And he lets you in and he closes the door. As you walk in, you see that there's like a dark hallway that's not lit, that leads back to a bedroom with the door open. And you see a bed there, and you see a lump in the bed who is presumably the woman that sleeps in this house. And,
Hopefully.
and, and you go to the left past another door into an open doorway that leads into the dining room that you saw into earlier, and your mother and sister are sitting there, and your mom stands up, and she comes over and she gives you a hug and kiss on the cheek, and she says, "We were just leaving. Georgia and I are gonna go back to the inn, and we'll let you and your father talk."
I kind of want you guys to be here.
Are you sure?
I feel like we should. I mean, maybe even Grandpa should be here, but I feel like what needs to be said to all of us.
Okay. We have talked to your father, and but if you want us here, I'll stay here, of course.
If you guys want to be here, I would like you to be here.
Georgia like kind of takes your hand and squeezes it and then sits down. There's only 4 chairs at the table. So Georgia sits down, and your mother stands and kind of like leans against the wall. And the other 3 chairs are available for Phineas and Abram.
I would try to like go to his mom and like motion to the chair, like for her to be a part of the seating area. For her to sit.
She looks at you and
To be a part of the seating area.
she looks at you and she kind of nods
Come
her
be a
head.
part of the seating area.
She looks at you and she nods her head and she says thank you, and she sits down, allowing you to kind of lean against the wall, but still be able to face Atticus. So Atticus, you're kind of like talking to your dad, and if you looked up, there would be Ava right there. And your father looks at you as he sits down. Actually, before he sits down, he looks to both of you and he says, "Would you like anything to drink? I shouldn't say anything. Would you like some water?"
I'll just shake my head. I'm gonna try to do the thing in like power moving meetings where I don't speak first, so I'm just gonna do like.
Okay.
That's my goal right now.
Yeah. He sits down and looks at you in this pose, and there's a moment of silence before he says, "I suppose I'll start from the beginning." But
Thank you. I would just like to hear it from your own words. What happened?
let me say first, 2 things. One, I am incredibly sorry and repentful of my actions and of the sorrow and pain that I know that I've caused you. And the second thing is I ask you to refrain from, retorting or questioning until I'm finished. Just, I want to get this all out.
Please.
I became the sheriff of Steep Cliff when I was way too young. I wasn't really ready for it. And I did so because I felt at the time that I had the wherewithal and the capabilities to be the head of the protection of this town and of that town. And I was good at what I did. I was. But I got in over my head quick. And you probably don't know this, but Steep Cliff, when you were just starting to become a man, was attacked by a pack of dark, scale hidden, hide covered creatures. It was hard to see exactly what they were. I barely escaped, and a lot of my other men died. It was then that we seek the help of the Great Tip Vanguards. I don't know if you know about them, but they're a group based out of the Great Tips that offer villages protection and security from the horrors that reside in the Great Tips themselves. And at first, you know, they seemed exactly what we needed. They seemed not very charismatic, but good at what they did. And they slew the pack of creatures, or at least told us they did. We never had trouble since, so I'm assuming they weren't lying. And offered us protection from the years since. However, the payments became more expensive, and the debt grew. And that's when I had to start looking at other places, stealing from parts of the town's funding that weren't for security, stealing from our own home, heirlooms that had been passed down through generations, having my men steal from other homes, lying to them, telling them that those items didn't belong to the owners, that they did. I did all of this with a knot in my gut and a voice in the back of my head screaming that I'm wrong. But there was a larger voice, a louder one that panicked me and made me worried for my children, my little boy, my little girl, and the little boys and little girls of everyone else in the town, and the town itself. And I would remember the night that those creatures attacked, and I would have nightmares of it, and I knew that we needed the protection, and they were good at convincing me of it. And then, that's when they started asking me to do things for them. First it was joining them on a couple hunts. Then it was other things. Things that don't affect you or the town. Things I'd rather not speak on. But things I didn't feel right about. And that's when I tried to get out. And I stopped payment. And I said they no longer needed to protect us. But that wasn't enough. Because I was in debt. And then the mayor found out. And so did the rest of the town. And that's when the mob came. and it was painted that I had stolen everything for personal use. The mentions of the Grey Tip Vanguards, it never happened. They never told the town. It was just painted that I stole all of that for our family. Um, so that's why we were kicked out. And I didn't tell you about the Grey Tips because I know you. And I knew as soon as you heard about them that you wouldn't stop until you found them. And I really don't want you to do that. But I've come to realize that I haven't earned the right to decide what's good for you anymore. I lost the right to decide what's good for anyone. And that's what I told your mother and your sister, and he kind of looks at them. And that's what I told your grandfather. And thankfully, and he kind of reaches out and squeezes Dorothy's hand. Thankfully, they heard me. And then your mom speaks up. However, we are still hurt, and he knows this. That's why he's not staying with us in the inn. We all need time to cope with what happened, to cope with the lies, to cope with the events, but we wanted your father to look for work here because living out on the land like he'd been doing. I love this man, Atticus. I was hurt, and so I agreed with your decision. But I can't not have Phineas in my life. And right now, I want him in my life in a very specific capacity. But that doesn't mean that the future might not hold a different one. And she kind of looks at him when she says that. And then your father looks at you. So, I want to end this by saying it again. Words will never justify or describe how truly sorry I am. But if you'll have me, I'd love to not be a ghost in your life.
That was a good one. That was a good line.
Thanks.
I would give you inspiration. Atticus just kind of leans back. Just I've spent the last couple months blinded by my anger for you. It's been a cloud over my head as I've traveled. And it hasn't gone away. It hasn't gotten any lighter. It's been it's been my sole focus is finding out who did this to you, because I knew it wasn't you, because that's not what you taught me. That's not how you raised me. What hurt me the most is that when you were in over your head, is that you didn't ask for my help. It's because that you taught me when you're in trouble, you ask for help. You ask for your friend's help, and I'll kind of look at Avra when I see that, or when I say that. And the people I've been traveling with, they've become a family to me. They've taken me in, and they've watched over me as I've watched over them, and I've learned a lot from them. Especially the youngest, Kelfie. She made a mistake, pretty big one, and I haven't forgiven her for it. But I'm allowing myself to. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I'm allowing myself to have her prove to me, not that she needs to prove it to me, but to get back into my good graces, and I don't forgive you, but I am ready to at least start a conversation.
It's more than I deserve, and I will accept it with a great appreciation. And I will also accept whatever terms that you want to see me or me to see you, or for whatever communication you want us to have. But I just want to say, hearing your words, and you see kind of like a tear go down his eye, I can't tell you how grateful I am that you listened to what I said and you became the man I want to be rather than the man that I was. And the fact that you had the wherewithal and the knowledge and the instinct to listen to what is still advice in my heart that I genuinely believe in, but advice that I was not able to follow myself from lack of strength. Because if I've learned anything, my son, it's that striking out on your own, selfishness, narcissism, anything that involves ego, that is the easy choice and the easy path. It takes true strength to show someone vulnerability and to let them see that vulnerability so that they can protect it. And I'm so deeply saddened that it took me so long to learn that myself. But I'm so thankful that you have learned it as you have, and I am thankful, and he looks over to you, Avra, for the friends that you have made. And I'm excited to hear about what's happened with you. Your mother and sister have kept me up to date somewhat. It seems you, it seems that you have become a man of tales and stories. It's quite something to hear, son.
Yeah, you'll never and I'll just kind of bust into like what we've gone. I've been waiting to tell my dad like everything. And this happened, Dad. I never could believe it. And then this happened.
I'll try to like
And I'll just-
minor illusion details. To, like,
Oh,
Yeah.
cool! Yeah. The table becomes, the table lights up with the visage of the storm giant and the head of Sharp Pelt growling in the face of Atticus as he committed the killing blow. And you help him describe the situations that you and your party have been through. And your father laughs and has his jaw agape. And your mom and your sister, you definitely told them some, but details were few and
told
far
them
between.
very little. I didn't tell them about like the whole event where we all got taken into another realm. I'm dumping everything.
Yeah. They all take it in. Laughs are had and gasps are made, and at the end of your tale, it's just open jaws and silence. And your mom reaches over and like caresses your cheek and then slaps you upside the head and says, if you ever keep information like God visions or near death from me ever again, you will find out that Phineas is not the only fighter in this family. You understand me?
I promise. I won't. It's mostly Pharaoh relaying it. Some stuff might get lost, but I promise I will tell him everything.
Okay. She laughs at that. your sister is just like, her astonishment is clearly a humorous and joyous one. She is definitely looking at her brother like he has become like a movie star, and just seems really like surprised. Your father has kind of a joyous look in his eyes as well, but also a tinge of concern that you could definitely see. Um, and he says, "I I definitely didn't train you for what you've been through, but I am glad that some of the lessons were able to help. You've been through quite a bit."
Wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for you, all of you in this room. And I do have presents, and I'll look at Georgia and I'm like, I believe I said something about presents,
Oh my,
and I'll
yes! And she's just
go
like,
through my bag and I'll pull them out. And I have for her, I have a hammer from the Tiger Paw outpost that I stole. I have
this,
some.
this was
I,
at the
I bought
actual
some
outpost?
that was at the outpost. It was used to make ballistas.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. So a
and
tabaxi touched this?
Tabaxi probably made that hammer.
Whoa.
And I'll pull out. I also took like a very high quality set of Tinker's tools,
Mm-hmm.
like just primo. And then I also have some shells from Hell that I still have, all
Uh,
for Georgia.
uh, oh my gosh. Atticus, I can't wait to tell you what I've been working on. This is really gonna help me out, and these shells are so cool. Thank you. And she grabs your head and just kind of like squeezes a little bit too
Rough
tight.
cut.
She's like, like chokes you for a second. And she takes the tinkering tools and just starts like tinkering, just starts looking at everything and what it's capable of. Um, and uh, she gets a little too excited, and your father kind of has to like quiet her and remind her that there is a sleeping person in this house. And um, he looks to you and he says, "So I'm assuming you intend to continue and head to Duskull."
I have to.
Be careful, son. And you see that there's so much more that he wants to say, and he is taking the strength that it requires to simply say, "Be careful, son."
If you're gonna be sticking around, you're gonna need something to protect the family. And I'll pull out the Varcona family longsword and hand it to him.
Uh, the
I took this from you, and I think it's time I gave it back.
he takes the sword, and you see that although your father is definitely like he's lost weight, he seems to be weaker than the last time you saw him. Uh, he takes the sword, and it's almost as if it's a foreign object to him, the way he's looking at it. And then in one fell swoop, grabs the sword and stands and kind of spins it and does a quick maneuver. That's just one of the many forms that he taught you to practice. And for a good 5 seconds, just like really cries. And then
I'll start crying, and I'll bring him in.
yeah, and you guys just share a big hug, and he surprises you with his strength as he lifts you up in the air. And your mom and sister swarm as well. Avra, it's a very heartwarming and nice sight. And then your father breaks apart, and he looks at you, and he brings back up the sword, and he says, "Thank you, son. I will earn the right of this sword." And he puts it down, and then he looks to you and says, "So, is it in the morning? Are you heading out?"
first light.
Wow. Are you... You owe me... You do not owe me an answer to this question. But are you going to seek them out?
Absolutely.
May Lyra protect you.
You as well.
If you don't mind, it's been quite a big day. The old hag wakes up early in the morning. I'm kidding, she's nice. And I suppose we should all get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cut it loose at the bar. You're welcome to join.
I appreciate that. There's still a lot that I have to cope with, and I'm just not quite there yet.
Well, I'll reach out.
Good. I love you, Atticus.
I love you too, Pops.
He brings you into a big hug again, and then your mother and sister and you and Avra slowly exit the house, and your father gives your mother one big kiss and bends down and kisses Georgia on the forehead as you guys exit, and closes the door behind all of you. Your mom gives you a really big hug and pulls back, and she just has her hand on your shoulders, and she just says, "Thank you. I'm proud of you. Now, want to get drunk?"
Yeah, please.
And you all make your way back to the Rare Goat Inn, and the rest of you and Eustace, mid-revelry, are rejoined by Atticus and the rest, and it's a very like like a big party was happening, and you guys separated for the night, and then you guys find each other at another bar later, like very much that vibe.
Avra's back, you guys. I found her.
Please have Sherry with us.
Hey, did you punch your dad again?
Sure did, Elburn. I sure
like
did.
it?
Wait, was it like
satisfying?
knuckle forward, or was it like a solar play? Like what?
That's not
what
a
was the
punch.
thing?
That's
You
a
punch with your knuckles, man.
yeah.
You've seen me punch like that before.
Then you know.
Are you
like
just
that.
walking around slapping people?
You're just.
No, we're like fighting, man.
Atticus did also get slapped.
I did get slapped. My mom
I am
slapped me in the face.
so hard. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, like a bad.
No, I deserved it. It's fine.
Yes, he did.
If he deserved it, he
Yes, you
deserved it.
did. Yes.
So Georgia's here with us?
Yeah, she's
Or-
not drinking, but she is here with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could. Kelpie's drinking. She can.
No, she's not drinking with us.
Do you want to
That's
drink,
not gonna
Georgia?
happen.
No,
Nope,
that
nope,
stuff
nope,
tastes.
Off the bed, off the bed.
That stuff tastes horrible.
Well,
I thought
after
so
a while,
too
it's
until I tried Sherry.
Talking about? This is amazing.
And then she looks at Kelpie and she says, "Oh, is Sherry good?"
No,
It's
Sherry's
really
not
good. I had like 3 glasses
Sherry's-
and I'm not drunk like these guys.
Does
so
anyone
it's,
have
like,
any
great.
sherry I could try? And
I
your
do.
mom-
Nope, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
Dorothy and Eustace both are like, okay. And Dorothy looks to the rest of you and she says, "I'm going to take my daughter up to bed. I'm going to go to bed as well. Please show my son a good time."
Will do.
He'll
I
show
guess
us a good
go.
time.
Elfie has magic mushrooms.
Oh yeah, I do still have some.
I thought I ate all of those.
I want one.
Okay, I'm going upstairs. I don't want to hear it. And she goes upstairs, and your grandfather looks to you and comes over and puts a hand on your shoulder, and he just simply goes, "Everything all right?"
It will be.
Good. Get a good night's sleep when you can, okay?
Will do.
And he goes upstairs as well.
What
So,
time?
he's walking up the stairs. I was like, "Where are you going, old man?"
And then he looks back and laughs, and he just says, "To be old." And then he goes back upstairs.
Yeah. Grandpa.
Well, I mean, who all's left here? Who?
I'm here.
The whole party
What do
in
you
the
mean?
whole party in Vix.
Everybody's here.
Who let Elburn get so
Everybody.
drunk so fast?
And who's
I-
letting Kelpie drink?
I'm having a. I didn't do it.
I tried some sherry and it's very tasty.
What did you say?
It's like
Brad?
the first
Why'd you put
alcoholic
your
drink
hand
I
in front of
actually
your
like.
face?
So
Good for
anyway, my
you.
concern is like, why would you serve goat rare? I feel like it's way too gamey.
You weren't
to-
fucking
to
talking
serve
about
Yeah, I
goat
see
3
that. I
seconds
can
ago.
see
What
that.
the fuck are you doing?
That's a great point though.
Honestly.
Cook it more.
Yeah.
Or just don't eat goat
I
at
gotta
all.
catch up, and I'll start drinking some butt water.
I create food and water and start dipping wafers in my sherry.
Oh, I want to try to dip a wafer into the goo. Who has the goo?
What?
I got some goo.
Oh,
We can have some.
the
We can all have some
dragon
goo.
Can we try it?
The
Yeah,
mistake
chips and
you-
dip.
If we're gonna make
Like
it a lucrative chain,
Well,
I'll get a
also,
I'll
this
get a
is good-
bowl and like dump out the nuts or whatever and pour in some.
wait.
dragon goo into
So
it.
can you leave those on the counter? I want some.
Yeah, I'll pile them up.
Actually,
I'm wasted.
okay.
I'm wasted.
Excuse me, a barkeep.
Yes?
You don't need to raise your hand.
I'd
No, I like when he's polite. This is fun.
barkeep.
Gross.
Yes?
Do you have some? It goes in food to make it take salt. You have salt.
Yes.
How
Can we
drunk
get
are you?
just like a tiny little, like a little dish of salt, real quick.
Salt.
Oh,
She
why do you
take-
need salt?
She takes the
Just
dish.
ask for some salt.
She takes the dish of salt that's on the table and slides it to you.
Ah, that's
There
on.
it is.
That's on me.
There it is.
My bad. And if it goos in the thing, in the little dish, I just like take a pinch of salt and I drop it in, and I take my finger and just like swirl it around for a minute.
Ugh.
Why did
No,
you?
I don't want any.
I still do. I do.
Hold
I
on,
still wanna
and then
try
I.
it.
You
Almost-
salted the
almost-
goo?
For the record, this is not a substance that Elvern would have partaken in while sober.
This is the dragon goo, right?
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. No.
He just takes it and he just like licks it. Did the salt help?
The salt helps immensely. The
Yes.
salt helps immensely.
we're on
It
to
gives
something.
it gives it like it now tastes like, honestly, just like if you just cooked ground beef and then just ate it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
I like
Goo.
it.
We just made
I
But
take
in the texture of goo. Yes.
I take
That's upsetting.
I lick it off.
It is. It should be.
It's very upsetting.
Too.
But at least
I
it
lick
tastes
and I
better.
just look at my finger. Guys.
So it's like
That's magic. You just did magic.
so it's like some kind of meat
And
paste.
immediately I turn.
It's like
I
a
turn.
meat
Don't.
paste.
Don't.
No, wait, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Don't. And I just point my finger at Ray. There. There's still some left.
No.
No.
In front of
No.
everyone?
What? What did
No.
I do?
No.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Not like this dynamic.
I don't get what. As for the food.
No.
I like take a
No.
little bit of
Nah.
the wafer and just like scrape some of it off. And
Dude,
like,
that's all I wanted. What you?
It actually,
I'll be-
the best it tastes is as like spread on a wafer. Like that's probably the best way you could have had this.
wow, you guys, it's pretty good.
Oh, it tastes good with my wafers.
It's like, do you guys know the
Yeah.
how the Wendy's burgers have like bacon jam? It's like it's like that.
Shut up! I want that.
Pharaoh, the best part of it is your wafers. If honestly,
Wafers
honestly,
make
the
it,
goo kind of
really.
makes it worse.
That can't
Yeah.
be true.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
just
I,
saying,
so-
that can't be true.
Are not
I
good.
carefully crafted that wafer in my lab.
Is it rosemary?
It's my favorite
Lab?
food.
I don't have the lab is my mind.
Oh.
Whoa!
As you are all sitting here at this table, you are approached by a man.
Oh my god,
Um,
man.
Side
he,
quest.
he
I would like to accept. Put it in my roster.
he approaches all of you. He has a long leather jacket and has black hair that's kind of been pushed back, like longer black hair that's been pushed back in like a headband. And he has like bright green emerald eyes. His skin's really pale. And he looks at all of you and he says, "Hi, good evening. How are you all doing?"
Oh my god.
Fantastic. Nice to
Do
meet
an
you.
insight check on this guy.
What are you trying to deem or gleam, I should say?
Like if he's, I mean, like without motivation other than just like being friendly.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I'm definitely too drunk to make any.
If I'm drunk, I'm gonna look at him and just be like, "Are you him?"
Is it
Depends on
Killzone?
how many shots.
16?
Right, yeah.
I'll say that what you glean off of that insight check is definitely a friendly demeanor, but it does look like he wants something from you. So you say, "Are you him?" And he looks at you and he says, "Am I who?"
Don't play dumb.
You know who? Are you the guy?
I am.
Oh well, I can tell you my name's Finnick, but is that who you're looking for? Have you heard of me?
Finnick.
Finnick.
Finnick. Well, we found you
Should
now.
we have heard of you?
Oh, not that I know of. I didn't really think
okay.
anybody knew of me.
Finnick with an F or a PH.
Finnick with an F. Thanks for asking.
That's a good question, Kelpie. Good work.
Good job.
What can
Thank
we do for
you.
you?
We're kind
Yes,
of on
well,
a night off.
oh right, no, I understand. No means to bother you. I heard that you're heading off to Duskull in the morning. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Who
Right.
told you?
You did very loud. You're drunk, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah.
Right. No, cheers. So, yeah, I was just wondering if it wasn't too much of a hassle, and if you were looking to make about what I've got is about 10 gold pieces to spare. If you could take me to Duskull in the morning with you, if you wouldn't mind.
Why?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. No problem.
Whoa,
well-
hang on, wait. Wait. Why are you going to Duskull?
Right, well, I heard about the dragon attack there, and I'm a bit of a information gatherer, I suppose you should say.
A
and
spy?
what?
What are you gonna
No, of
gather?
course not. The information's just for me, right? A bit of a storyteller, I suppose you should say, but I don't really tell the stories. I just kind of gather the info.
Who tells the story?
Eldor Swift Dream, and I'm gonna look him in the eyes. What does he react at all?
He seems very confused.
Is there any familiarity in there?
Not that you notice, no.
His name's not Pildor. Xavier. What's up?
Xavier Syntax.
Yes, his name is Finnick.
Yeah,
He
right. My
said
name's
his name.
Finnick Warber.
Like the bird?
No, that's a warbler.
Warbur.
Hey, yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Easy mistake to make. No worries there. So yeah, I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind taking me to Duskull in the morning. I would be willing to part with 10 gold pieces to get me there, and I know that that's not much, but as I'm sure you know, and as I just said, dragons are flying in the area, and it already was not necessarily the safest passage to begin with. So I love the chance to travel with a group if you are willing.
15 and I'll buy you a drink.
Doesn't.
Oh, 15.
Should we have like a group meeting about it? Should we
Talk
group
about
up?
that.
Right, no, yeah,
Talk
no,
up.
please, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I'll just
feel
go.
over there.
Right,
Finnick,
yeah.
feel free to join our group meeting.
Oh, okay,
No,
right.
No, Finnick, please just go over there.
Okay.
All right, just mixed
How many
messages. Sorry.
cherries have you had?
All right, well, I'll just be right over here then.
Okay,
I'm
bye.
gonna
All right,
take
good,
out
all
my
right.
eye patch and activate True Sight and just squint at him as he walks away.
That's a smart child.
This
She's
is why we don't let her
getting-
drink, so she can keep a clear head.
That's why.
Okay, that's interesting.
Uh-huh. 'Cause it's a
I think that's
it's
code
a,
for DM's been caught.
it's a metallic dragon who's trying to get some stories.
Oh snap!
It's a metallic dragon that's trying to get some stories because their copper dragon forms are
I
I
knew
don't
it.
even know all what True Sight does. Let's Google it.
That's what I'm doing.
He's actually
I think you
British.
can.
It
If
just
you
copper
go,
dragon
True
trying to
Sight,
collect
he just shows up.
stories.
He just holds up his
Okay.
minutes.
It says
For
that
everybody.
an automatically see-through visual illusions to reveal the original form of a creature or shapeshifter.
Gasp.
Fucking, I gave this item. So.
and we're using it because we're amazing.
So Kelpie, as you see Finnick walk away, you do not see a black-haired individual with bright emerald eyes. You see a large creature with the body of a lion and wings upon his back, and a large, ornate, gem-filled kind of headdress that fills over his human head.
All right, let's group up.
Just like grab Avra and be like, Avra.
What?
It's a. I assume I've never seen any creature like this before.
No, you have not. No.
He's got a lion. He's got wings.
I trust this guy.
Let
Wait,
me.
what?
I'm gonna grab the eye patch if you let me.
You are not attuned to the item, so you put on the eye patch and it just
Oh.
blocks your vision.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Oh no.
I take it back and I put it back on. I'm like, he's.
Can I do like a nature or animal or something to check to see if I've heard of if I have any ideas of what she could be talking about?
Go ahead and do a nature check.
Nature.
Are you lying to us, Calfee?
No,
Alfie, how much sherry have you had?
I was gonna say,
like
I
3 glasses.
Just like,
That's so much.
is this
I got
good?
2.5 and I'm toasted.
I rolled a 7.
Nope.
What?
I lean to everyone else and I'm like, guys.
What?
He has a lion body and a very fancy like headdress with like gems in it.
And you look up, and
And-
now that he's turned back
I was
around,
gonna say.
now that he's turned back around, you see that he does have a very human-shaped head, but it does also have very feline qualities to it. It has kind of like the snout of a lion, and his eyes are just a cloudless, or just like there's no iris, there's no pupil. It's just like a very cloudy yellow as it looks back, and it's so funny because if you can tell that if it was in its original form, it wouldn't even be fitting where it was right now. So you can tell it is not a visual illusion. It is an actual shape-shifting.
Do I notice that its hands aren't weird?
Its
Look
hands.
for hands
It
that are
has
backwards.
genuinely just the body of a lion. So the legs and torso and tail of a lion. So it has paws, 4 paws. On the
Okay,
ground.
but they're not backwards.
Nope, not backwards.
Cool.
But like just to point out, just to clarify, the Rakshasa's hands are kind of humanoid, clawed humanoid hands that
Oh,
are
I
bent
got you.
backwards,
But
and
these are just straight paws.
and these are just straight up paws. Yep.
That's so cute.
What?
Yeah,
What's
so
up?
he's not.
Okay, so now that she has described the creature, I'll
Yeah.
say, go ahead. Who would I have do this?
Ollie.
Ray, just because of your work with the Grey Tips and the knowledge of creatures, and then I'll allow one other roll. Who wants to justify it?
I'm drunk. I'm not gonna roll.
What
Fuck that.
roll was it?
It wouldn't be you, Avery. You already rolled your nature check.
Okay.
Yeah, nature check.
Maybe because I was already suspicious of him.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead, Rev. So Rev
Is
and
it
Abra.
nature?
Atticus sobers up with laying on hands.
Cool.
Put that out there.
Yeah. Noting that some serious stuff might be happening,
Yep.
you sober up. Ray, for you, it would be a nature check. Rev, for you, I would say maybe history.
While people are clearly getting serious, I just.
We should let him out of the gym. Oh, wait.
We already did that.
I got a 17.
17?
16.
16. I would say with your collective knowledge, you guys kind of both start speaking out loud a little bit and connect some dots together. But you finally come to the conclusion that you can think of one creature in all of your tales and in all of your myths that you have heard that would match this description of a lion body with large feathered folded wings on back and a humanoid / lion type head with a large gem encrusted headdress and the eyes cloudless yellow, that of a sphinx.
Gasp.
Which you know not a whole lot about sphinx. You know that they are ageless creatures. You know that they are powerfully magic. And you also know that they are very interested and passionate about lore in all of its forms.
I instantly start geeking out. Like a little bit, like kind of want to go back over and like fangirl a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
And just to put it into perspective, these tales and myths that you guys kind of remembered hearing about these creatures were tales and myths. Like, I know that we
Yeah.
live in a world of dragons and vampires, but like no one has really ever seen a sphinx. If they have, they're in like stories from a long time ago. It's just like it's never really been something that's like confirmed. They're not creatures that people have hunted or killed or anything like that. They're different than that. You know, bodies of sphinxes have never been discovered. They're mystical entities. So yeah, just wanted to put that in perspective.
Should we just ask, like, what's up with the whole?
Nope.
Why not?
Lay on hands to Elver.
Elvin, you are immediately sober.
Guys,
Focus
I'm
up,
like,
buddy.
Are we fighting this shit? Like, what's going on? Like, I
Oh my
started
God.
immediately. Like, I like set my glass down and just. No, I don't. I go. I chug the rest of my butt water and put down.
God damn
the
it!
glass and crack my knuckles and like get rid. I'm like, are we fucking?
no, when we're not fighting it, when
I think that's a bad idea.
he's fun. He's a guy. He's a good
Are
guy.
any of the myths of sphinxes like? Are they usually like evil or malicious?
Actually, the
Or are
myths
they more
that
neutral.
yeah, the myths that you know that they are like very neutral creatures, not really known to cause harm, not known to help those in harm. They are creatures that are very self-involved, and that's partly because, well, that's partly because something that you guys don't really know about with those roles. But JMO, at this point, your true sight fades, and because it only lasts a minute, and you see, I think it only lasts a minute, right? Or is it 10 minutes?
I can't remember. I
I believe
wrote
it was a
down-
minute.
I think it's just a minute.
27 years.
27 years.
It's a home-brewed item, so if I said 10 minutes, I was definitely mistaken, and it should only be a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so it fades, and you just see the visage of the dark-haired, emerald-eyed man leaning against a pole in the corner that everybody else still sees.
If I took a quick sweep, because before it would fade, I'd want a quick sweep of the room to see if anything else pops out to me as strange.
Yes, you definitely, because you would have been used to doing that, looking for the orb. You probably do that daily. And you don't see the orb, and you don't see anything else out of the ordinary.
Cool.
Atticus is a dragon.
Yeah.
I knew
a
it.
blue dragon.
What's up?
Yeah,
Um,
let's just talk to him. Let's just have a conversation
Well,
over a
dude-
glass of sherry.
Ugh.
I
You
don't
know, for
know.
once
Speaking
I
of glass of
worked
sherry,
with,
I can get another one.
I mean, he'll probably
we-
ask us a riddle at some point in time.
Should we get him out of the tavern? Should we get him away from all these people? Are sphinxes like bad news?
Yeah, are they
aggressive,
bad?
or-
No, they're just chill. They're like if you do something, they don't care. If you don't do something, they don't care. It's like they don't care, you know.
What?
Do you want me to sober you up, Ray? Or are you good? I don't.
No, I'm gonna have another. This is fun. I'm having
Maybe-
fun.
Well, maybe I think things just got a little serious. My
Oh.
family's upstairs, and there's a magical, mystical being that just walked in the door.
He
Yeah,
did the
but
same
he's
to
cool.
me.
Then
means you
I
can
just
drink
said
more.
he's-
Atticus,
seems-
please make me sober.
Are you drunk?
I feel like
No.
you're okay, man.
You're halfway
fine.
through your
you
fucking
could make
sherry,
him
man.
sober. I'll
How much have you had to drink?
3/4 of a glass. Please make me sober.
I think you're all right.
Okay.
Okay.
If you believe it so, but I don't wish to be a burden to the party in my drunken state.
You haven't finished your first glass.
I like to enjoy it.
Oh. I'm enjoying
It's
it.
like my fourth of butt water, and he sobered me up.
All right, let's focus. Let's focus up.
You're right.
Yeah, focus up. Everybody focus up. Okay.
I
What?
don't see. I mean, I don't see how it could go. Like, I mean, if he's just traveling with us.
Okay, so the guy leaning against the post walks back up to the table.
I mean,
He's
we're
coming
going-
back. Everybody
we're going,
be quiet.
We're going that way.
Everyone be cool.
We're going that way.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
He
do
sits
it.
down
On
at
our
one of the
table?
empty chairs. Yep.
Oh, he's forward.
And he says, "Right. So, part of one thing that I'm quite good at is I got really good hearing. So I heard every word that you just said. So I know
Being
that.
half cat.
Right. No, that's almost
That's,
offensive. Right. So I know that you know what's going on in this situation.
Okay,
Should we
thank
step
you.
outside?
No, I don't think there's
Not in
any.
an aggressive way, just to talk.
Right.
Yeah, we're
no.
not gonna fight you.
Yeah, meet me out back
Really,
in a
anyone
nice
here?
way.
Really, anyone here is
Arrow.
too drunk to believe what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
I was drunk until like a minute ago.
True.
So I'm just wondering what conclusion you think you've come to.
I don't think we've come to one yet.
I mean, you know what? I'll start it. I'm not mad at it since you seem like, from what I understand, you seem like a chill being. We haven't met many chill beings.
Especially ones with feline like qualities.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
we don't
about
have the
you, but like we
history.
With a
just have some
history.
weird, like just cognitive of our own bias.
So-
It's more shock than anything.
Yeah.
It's a nice,
To me.
refreshing thing
Like,
to me.
yeah.
An interesting and not cannibalistic.
Right. I know who you are and everything that you've done.
Because of the stories. Are you following us?
No.
Are we?
No.
Are you
It's just
following
kind
us
of.
on Twitter?
It's
Oh,
kind of
man.
no. It's just kind of something
Instagram?
I'm. Listen, I would love to answer the question. It's just kind of something that I'm able to do. Things that are of legendary status. I can usually find the lore about quite quickly.
Wouldn't say.
So you like
Legendary does not innately mean great.
So you've heard of my mustache?
Right.
that was quality. That was a good bit, but also you know like everything about everything.
Yes, it's the Archmage of Devis, Elburn. I understand.
Oh.
Wow.
Former.
What's my favorite alcoholic drink?
You
Sherry.
have to say that super loud.
Okay, wow.
Wow.
But I only know that
Good.
because you're currently drinking and have talked about it quite all night. So listen, I am. My name is Fennec Warber, and that's not my real name, as I'm assuming you've
Figured.
guessed. I travel the lands of Erubrion, and as I have done for quite a long time, because I feel that if the entire world were to become decimated by, I don't know, say 4 adult dragons that were attacking civilizations across the world, I feel that there should be at least one entity on the material plane that knows the lore and the stories of this world. And that is my goal, and that is what I've been doing for as long as I have. So, knowing who you were, I wanted to join you on the way to Duskull to learn more about you. And would still like to do so, if you would be willing to let me. However, if you are, I would request one condition. That I be treated as nothing other than Fennec Warber, lowly traveler.
Telling the truth. Can I get a good read on him?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check. Yeah.
I would like to as well.
I will allow Avra and Atticus to roll one.
Oh,
Should
natural-
I use my inspiration?
Natural 20, you said?
Oh no, natural 1.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. 'Cause I rolled pretty bad.
Okay.
Good.
She still has the.
And that is a natural 1. God damn it! I rolled an 8 and a 1.
You are just like, you neither of you have any clue. I mean, it is 50-50. He could be completely telling the truth. As far as you know, he could have, like, met with Kelfie earlier and told her to tell all of you guys this, and, like, this is all some elaborate prank. Like, you guys really have no idea what's going on.
I'll stare at him in the eyes, and then I'll like look at Avery and be like, "I'm not getting anything. I can't get a read on him."
I say we have done so many things, and you guys did so many things before I even showed up, and then I was doing my own things. So we've all collectively just tackled so many things.
Right.
That we just let him come, and if he fucks up, we kill him. And And
Hey
if
Ray, high five.
okay,
Lay on hands. 5 points. You're sober now.
High
damn
five
it,
was magical.
Atticus. And I'm immediately gonna go back to the bar and get another.
I'm sorry, you just make such good points. Normally,
No.
I want you to be in this conversation.
I
want
was
you-
in the
want-
conversation.
Hey, Atticus, high five.
High five. I just lay on hands, you man. You're sober as a bird.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll an insight check. Atticus, roll a deception check.
18.
17.
Yeah. He lay on hands, yeah.
Whoa, everything is so clear to me.
You do feel a slight tingle in your hand. Turns out it's actually just because Atticus has kind of beefy hands and it hurt a little bit, but you think it's from the lay on hands.
Thank
Oh
you,
my God.
Atticus. You've done a great deed this day.
My pleasure.
I lean over to Atticus and just like look at him, and I go, "Hey," and then I just lean back.
Right. So, what are we thinking?
I still come on.
I mean, yeah,
Right, guys,
basically
like-
what she said, but like less aggressive. Yeah.
Are
I
you
think it's-
instantly drunk again?
No, I'm not. I'm just mad. I haven't even gone to go get my sherry. I kind of have to go to the bathroom. I probably need a
Understand
shower.
Does that? It makes you have to pee a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray, you're usually such a skeptic. If you're willing to have him just join us, like, I don't know, that makes me feel more okay with it. That's why I wanted you sober, just so you can get a clear look at it.
Aw. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm down.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I've got what I need. Will all of you join me out back, please?
Okay, this got
No.
weird.
In a,
This got
in,
real
a, in a
weird.
nice way?
In a
Can we go
nice
out
way.
front?
Yeah.
Can we go
yeah.
out front?
I
Yeah.
instantly like under my like cloak and my leathers instantly just like find my hand on my hand axe.
I
Yeah.
mean, attractive people are never evil, guys. Let's go.
Listen, there will be no need for violence, no need for worry. Please join me in the back.
Yet the
I feel
promise
more
not to
comfortable
hurt
in
us.
front.
Okay?
I go. I
I unclip like the hook that keeps my longsword in my jacket, but I do follow.
Yeah.
I guess we're just following a sphinx into a back alley. All right, let's go.
As we start to go, I want to try to cast. Oh no, this is a bad idea. I want to try to cast Detect Thoughts on him.
I like how you said this is a bad idea and committed to it. I appreciate that so
Well,
much.
because if it doesn't work, then he's gonna know that I tried to, and that might not end well. But I'm gonna sure fucking.
Detect thoughts?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Well, the detect thoughts is only a wisdom saving throw if you're trying to delve deeper into their mind.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
But
it's
you
just
can you can read his.
Oh yeah,
Surface
you can learn the
thought-
surface thoughts. Okay, yeah.
So you reach out with your mind, trying to. Does anyone know what that was?
No
I have no
idea.
idea. I have no
He was
idea.
the ghost in my closet over there.
Okay. You reach out with your mind, and he doesn't turn back. But you hear in your mind, "Please, this is a place for me and me alone."
Okay.
Why's your face red, Avra?
Do you try to
Can I-
delve deeper?
No, can I like not drop the spell so that I don't have to recast it, but like not try to delve right now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. It's up to him. Well, I guess it's just up to a minute, but
No.
still.
So you guys go out there's no back door, so you guys go out the front and then follow him around to the back of the tavern. And he kind of just like it's like a large alleyway. It's basically a street, but it's the back of all these buildings. There's a lot of trash back here. And it seems to be that this road was simply made to like get rid of all of the garbage in a place where not everybody has to see from all these buildings is kind of what its point is. But it's large because the garbage cart has to go through here to collect everything for burning later. So as you guys get out here, he immediately turns around and puts up his hands, and he says, "All right, so everything that I've been telling you is the complete truth and nothing but the truth. And I just wanted to talk to all of you because I wanted to see if the stories were true. And I think they are. you are meant for great things, this group. And Erubrion, as a whole, is grateful to have you. So I want to make sure you know that. And there's really no need for travel, although I do appreciate you finally accepting it. That was the final nail in the coffin. Listen, I know that you've had a rough couple months, especially a rough past couple weeks. But I wanted to come over here not only to get to know you, but to send you a message. You see, I've been around for quite some time. Quite some time indeed. And that simple fact has the benefit of many things. One of those things being a knowledge and relationship with powers of a higher tier, one should say. And the message is that although the trials and the tribulations have been as hard as they have been, that without you, the current state of the world would be much worse, believe it or not. And that the path you are continuing to go down is a great one. And he winks. And then he turns from you and he puts his hands down and he kind of looks up at the night sky, takes in a deep breath, and then he reaches into his pocket and he takes out a large gold coin. And he flicks it over to Rev. Rev, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
You think you can hit that right off the bat? Get the fuck out of here.
I got a 15.
15. Rev snatches the coin midair and you look down at it. It's a large gold coin with an engraved image of an open eye on one side and a closed eye on the other one, and it kind of shimmers in the moonlight. And he looks at you and he says, "For one time, and one time only, I am at your service. Should you need me, simply flip this coin and speak my name. My true name. Grivvel. You speak that name, and I'll come." And he looks up at the sky again, and then looks back down. "Good luck." And as he says that, from his back explodes a plume of white, feathery wings. And as he leans forward, his hands and legs become heavily leaned, muscled, fur-covered legs and paws of a lion, a golden lion, that then lands on the ground and comes up to a head that is somewhat humanoid, somewhat lion-like, but very regal and awe-inspiring in its presence. The mouth does not move, but all of you simultaneously hear in your minds, "Remain true to one another. Strength in unity." And with one gust, 2 gusts, 3 gusts of its wings, it is already 100 feet in the sky as it flies up in the air, behind a cloud, and out of sight.
Did I get an attack of opportunity?
I was just about to say I cast Earthbind.
You should flip the coin right now. That'd be right.
I for sure.
How did you say your name again? What was it?
I for sure turn to Kelsey and I go, "Did you put any of the mushrooms you have left into any of our drinks?"
No, I promise.
You do. You promise?
I do.
Okay. Because that was dope as hell.
That's pretty cool.
That was awesome. I'm glad I got
Can you-
sober.
Can you turn into one of those, Kelsey? Is that possible? You can do that.
I don't know. Let me try.
Nothing happened.
One wing, just like
No, I can't even be a flying creature yet. So I
That's
just like turn
only
into a
one.
lion and that's it.
Yeah. She turns into a house cat, and the like, it's like a tabby house cat, and like some of the like stripes and spots form like what kind of looks like wings on the back.
oh,
Pretty cute.
Close.
I would name that Hobbs if I were anybody.
Still very impressive.
I feel like I need another drink after that.
I think so. Yeah.
I think
Let's get
I
drunk
need to-
again.
Yeah.
Can we?
Well,
How
now
many
that I'm
drinks
sober,
to get drunk? Because I've had a lot of drinks and I feel like I don't. feel
You'll get
drunk.
there. Keep
You're
going.
hammered, Kelsey. You are so drunk
Really?
right
I can't
Yeah.
even understand what you're saying.
Sherry's not that strong.
now. Do you want me to sober you up?
I mean, if you say I'm really drunk, maybe.
I think I'll have to, and I'll use dancing lights to try and like make it look like I'm doing my own hands. Like, I don't know if it's gonna take because you were so drunk, but I think I
Oh,
did.
okay. Okay.
Just a ring of red juice around.
Yes, Kool-Aid mouth.
She's got the like milk mustache, but it's just red.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look over at Atticus as he does the dancing lights, and I just look at him like from behind Kelsey and just go like,
Oh my
hey,
god.
hey, none of those
As I'm
lights are there when you cast it on me.
It's different for every person, Pharaoh.
Magic's crazy, man.
Mhm.
That's
Imagine
true.
do be
That's
crazy.
"No
To
fucking
be
shit.
crazy sometimes.
I'm gonna go inside and get drunk," and I just walk inside.
I guess I'll get drunk again. I'll follow.
Guess I'll get drunk again. Such a 12-year-old.
Rev pockets
sober
the
color.
coin in like a very specific like breast pocket and just like mouthing like trying to like that's gonna be a tough one. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a tongue twister of a name.
Mhm.
All right, so you guys head back inside, continue your drinks and your merriment. I'm assuming
Yeah.
you guys grab a few rooms for the night.
For sure.
So that'll set you back a gold per night for each room. So however many rooms you guys want, they're all
I'll
available.
go bunk with my folks,
Okay.
or my mom and my sister.
Yeah, easily enough. You and your sister share a bed, and she relentlessly kicks you in her sleep all night.
I've never been happier.
Yeah, so if you want a room, get a gold off of your inventory, and if you share one, do that amongst yourselves. But
I go up to Avra and I'm like, Avra, can I borrow a gold?
Yeah, of course you can borrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just all night. I never took any. I'm a little bit drunk again at this point.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to just bunk with Kelsey and I?
Oh, okay.
I can
Yeah,
pay for
is
it.
that- is
I
that-
have a lot of gold.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just hang on to this.
I pass by and very loudly go, "I've got my own room," and then walk.
Okay.
Good
You
for
say
you,
that so
buddy.
loud.
He got drunk again. He for sure got drunk again.
I don't know. We'll worry about it later.
Is there something to worry about?
No. Not at all.
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
Guys have been
Before the
acting
end of the
kinda
night,
weird together, but
Atticus does want to take Avra and just kind of thank her for coming with her and just say, you're kind of like the moral compass that I didn't know that I needed. So I appreciate you point me in the right direction.
Of course. Thank you for asking me to come, and thank you for letting me be a part of this big family for a night.
I mean, you guys are all part of my family.
You are too.
I don't know.
All right, so you all find yourselves asleep for the evening, and a peaceful night's sleep comes to all of you. And in the morning, you hear roosters crow, and you also begin to hear the workings of the lumber mill around town as work begins on the day. And with that, we will go ahead and take our little bio break as we start the next morning, a new day in Pine Drift before we hit the road for Duskull. So go ahead and we will go get yourself some water, get some stretching in, and we will be right back right after this brief intermission. So we'll be right back. Bye.
Message from our sponsors.
Hello! Welcome back to Charmed Persons. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a nice little break and that you drank some water or stretched or whatever. Yeah, you know what? Whatever you needed to do. So we start off in the morning. You have woken up to the sounds of the local animals stirring, the local population stirring, and like I said, the lumber mill that is in the back of the town, that is almost the size of the town itself, rings throughout the area, the sounds of hammers and everything. So what would you like to do?
I'm for sure in my room for a minute, having a little bit of a moment. After the Sphinx was like, "You've all done great things for Erubrion," like he's been thinking about that for sure all night. It's just kind of like sitting up on the edge of his bed, a little downcast and thinking about that since the last major thing he did for Erubrion was, destroyed an entire civilization.
Yeah.
So he just kind of like breathes into that while he's meditating, but it definitely is percolating in his mind a lot as he gets ready for his day and goes down to greet everybody else. Probably a little later than he usually does.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Pharaoh also is considering those words from the Sphinx. And I think Pharaoh's also maybe feeling a little guilty about leaving Drigo behind again, especially after the traumatic events that Drigo had. So first thing in the morning, it's going to send a sending message to Drigo, talk about this excitedly about the Sphinx and everything. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Guess who it is? You won't believe it. We saw a Sphinx in a back alley. Rev can call at any time. Hope you're doing well.
Anytime hope. Rev can call at anytime hope is the last thing he heard.
I'm so sorry. I forgot one thing afterwards. Just I want to say.
Okay.
That now.
Yeah. And then you hear a response, and he's kind of like chuckling through the response, and he says, "Good morning. That's crazy to hear. I hope you're safe and doing well. I'm feeling much better, and come home soon."
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Elburn?
The reason why it takes a little bit longer is that I remember that I've got the medallion on me now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of like meditate over it for a second, like wondering if I should have this power after like praying for it and all that. But then I very quickly cast scrying to see what Xavier's up to.
Okay. So you cast Scry. So he rolls a wisdom saving throw. What is the spell DC of the item?
I have no fucking idea. You just told me that I can cast Scry once per day.
Oh, that's true. Let me look at that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I made sure I looked at my note to be like, did I write?
No,
down
yeah, I should have told
anything?
you that. Because I forgot that you were a spellcaster.
As he's doing that, I'm like, can you not?
Oh, so you're in his room.
Oh, you are? If you're in my room, that doesn't happen. Or you're like dead asleep.
Just coyly sipping coffee in the corner.
Oh,
Are you
hey.
asleep?
I was.
You're okay. Then he extra is like trying to be like quiet about it, like sitting at. Hey, I didn't know you were in my room. I wake up and I like turn over.
Angie, if you don't already have it, you have DM inspiration.
Oh, I do have inspiration. Can I have
I
double?
think from our last
No, you cannot.
interaction,
Mhm.
we have DM inspiration.
Well, you ran by me and you were like, "I have a room to myself." Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I definitely went in with Kelpie and Avra, and then
snuck out?
when they were asleep. I was like,
Love that.
Duly noted. I do that, but very like secretly and like quietly in the morning.
Okay.
It's even
So
creepier. It's like in a corner huddling.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm gonna say, because I remember saying that it gives the person the ability to cast scrying. So what is your intelligence modifier?
+1.
And what's your proficiency bonus?
3.
Okay, so 8 plus 4 is 12. So the spell DC is 12, which he succeeds. So you see nothing.
I just kind of, I like glare for a second, and there's a little part of like an atom of the old Elburn who's like,
It does feel like you kind of like, you know, you tried to like get the dust off the old joints, you know, as if you were like a athlete coming back to his sport, and maybe it is a humbling moment for Elburn.
yeah, he definitely like his entire being can be like in this moment can be summed up by the face of just like,
Yeah.
and then he like hides it, he tucks it and like kind of like hides it as he can, and goes back to bed. Still a little confused as to when she got in the bed.
"Well, I think you know."
Yeah, I think you're well aware.
That's
I
more
think-
concerning that you don't know.
I
that.
think you are well
Where
aware
are
of.
you? We got real wasted after again.
That's true. So he gets back into bed being like, I wish I could remember every single thing that happened, but like I know it
Yeah.
was dope.
Wow.
Oh.
He got very drunk.
Abra and Kelpie, you wake up and seems that Ray has woken up
Really?
ahead of you.
Really retcon that.
Do you?
Does she usually wake up like super early?
I didn't think she did the last time she bunked with us. She woke up. I mean, I think I wake up pretty early, so she must have woken up like extra early.
And Avra sort of like puts 2 and 2 together about like where Ray actually is, and almost brings it up, and then remembers Kelpie's a
12.
child.
And got drunk last night.
Goes, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what. Yep, that's it.
Well, since she's not here, I kind of wanted to talk to you because we haven't really talked since. You know, and last night, Elburn said he was still mad at me. I mean, he was drunk when he said it, but I feel like he's still mad at me. And I just don't know what I can do to make people not mad at me anymore. I've tried not to really say anything when we're deciding things and just let you guys decide, but I just...
Yeah, I understand, and you know, to be honest, I think Elburn's probably not the only one, and the only thing you can do is give it some more time. and keep being you and keep being the you that we love and that we know you are. But I think you'll learn sometimes there's nothing you can do except just wait a little longer.
Okay. All right.
And know that the fact that they are giving it this time and this thought means that they love you.
That makes sense. Are you mad at me about it?
Oh, I'm not mad at you. No. I think that it was a realization for me too. You know, I told you I kind of I had my suspicions. I almost did it too, but you know, I think you can definitely hold your own when we're in the middle of a fight and we want you here. But, you know, like I said a couple days ago, you do need to look to us for that kind of, I don't know, just reasoning that you haven't had the life experience to get to yet. I haven't either in a lot of ways. Look, like these people, most of the people that we're with are much older than both of us.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you.
So you don't think that you guys would be better off if I wasn't part of the group?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I was thinking because if we do find my mom and stuff, then I know we talked about me going back with my dad, but I could also stay with my mom in Dustfall if we fix things there.
I want you to do whatever you want to do. You, without a doubt, make this group better. But you already haven't had a whole lot of time to just be a kid. So if you want to go with your mom or go with your dad or whoever, you can do that. Nobody's going to be mad at you.
Yeah. Well, my mom might still be mad at me. I feel like she's probably still mad at me.
Yeah, well, nobody in this family is going to be mad at you.
Okay. I'll give her a big old hug.
Hug it back.
And head downstairs.
Gidget comes out and spends the morning on your shoulder.
Oh, that's good. Kelby talks about how much she misses Biscuit and how she hopes he's doing okay with her dad.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have Gidget. He reminds you of Biscuit a lot. And Gidget misses Biscuit too. So you bond in that way. Rev, you wake up in the morning, and Elliot's there. Pardon me. And he says, hello, good morning.
No worries.
How did we sleep?
I slept all right. I was up a little late thinking about some things. Yeah, slept okay once I got to sleep. Do you
What you
sleep?
thinking about?
So I was thinking about, last night, Abra, who, usually is the one who looks after Kelfie,
Right,
she was
yeah.
off helping Atticus deal with this thing, and
Right.
we were hanging out at a bar with a 12-year-old, and I didn't do much, but kept an eye on her and just kept her from drinking.
I noticed that was very
alcohol,
responsible of you.
Just got me thinking about my dad, who did his best to keep me out of trouble, but wasn't hugely supportive of who I was.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm just trying to mediate. I know I'm not Kelfie's dad. Maybe help her figure out who she wants to be.
That's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Your dad.
Yeah.
I know that he lives in Duskull, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How you feeling about that?
I think he does it. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Are you gonna try searching him out?
I mean, I'd like to know that he's okay, or if he's still alive. I don't know what I would say to him if I saw him.
Right. Well, I was just kind of curious, because I don't have a dad, so just didn't know how you'd handle it. So thanks for letting me know.
No.
Speaking of dads, I don't know, I kind of consider, Demetrius is like dad-like to me,
Sure. Yeah.
And, well, I just wanted to tell you something. Well, he's just, he's very thankful for everything that's been happening, right? But he's curious, he's just a little curious as to, when, you might start heading to, Volumen.
Yeah. So I felt like where you are moving back at this point. We're going
Right.
basically in the opposite direction.
Right,
Well, I
no,
mean,
not
like,
basically, literally.
Physically, we're moving.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
right.
in a metaphysical sense, like,
Right, just because he only brings it up. He just brings it up because twice now, your group has had the opportunity to choose the direction that it was heading in. And neither time you really fought for Voluin, And so he's just wondering if you will.
sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I've brought it up a couple times.
Rev, as you're talking to Elliot, your bag lying next to the bed begins to shake. And a gust of wind blows through the room. The shutters on your window shut. The candle lit in the corner that had burned down to a very small stem blows out, and darkness envelops the room. You hear Elliot say, "Oh, okay." And as the bag continues to shake, it floats up in the air slightly in a plume of black smoke, exits the bag, and lands on the ground, almost like dry ice, how dry ice does it, lands and folds, and then it swirls back up and reaches about 6.5 feet in height. And then, as if another gust of wind blew through the room, although you don't feel it, the mist dissipates and blows backwards. And there you see, standing in front of you, Demetrius Frey. As he turns to you and says, "How you doing?"
And I can't look him in the eye.
Yeah. He says, "Sit down."
Yeah.
And he just begins to pace the room. "Elliot is being a lot nicer than I instructed him to be. You see, Rev, I feel as if I've done quite a bit for you. I feel you've grown a lot more stronger and more powerful in your 59 days with me. And I feel as if, other than being hidden and sucking on the blood of a dead man through a bag, I have not received much. Now, don't get me wrong. I have encouraged you to stay on your path. I've encouraged you to be with this group. I know that I would be taking on some sacrifice in investing in you. I knew of that. I'm an intelligent man. However, as forgiving and as different as I am from my brethren. And when he says that, a low growl kind of emanates from his throat, and you see his fangs glisten in what little light is in the room. He says, I am not without power that should be feared. And I would appreciate if, when opportunities come up, that you think of a way in that small little mortal brain of yours to make the choice that affects me greater, the one that your party chooses. What do you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
of course.
Listen, Rev. I like you. I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want to hurt your friends. I genuinely mean none of you harm. But I have been waiting. I am very close. And if you were imprisoned for as long as I have been, you would be just as desperate. So, I ask that you show me just a little more respect.
Of course. Like you said, you encouraged me on this path to find these people, and you've given me a lot. I have a lot more now than when I started. I wouldn't have that without you. If I need to get you to follow you, and I feel like I could do that on my own at this point in time.
There are obstacles that you will face on your journey to follow you in that you will not be able to face alone. I can't tell you how I know this, but I know this. And I'm as pissed off about it as you are. But just like that fucking cat person said last night, being old allows you knowledge that certain other people don't have, which means I know a little bit more about why your group is doing what they are doing, but it does not mean that I am okay with it. However, I have found a way that I can still get what I want. So, do what you need to do. Fight whatever dragons you need to fight. Kill whatever you need to kill. But you need to convince them to get to follow you in. And you will need their help. And they do need yours. Rev, there are entities that are more powerful than I am. That I'm not doing this just for myself. There's a lot of dangers in this world that you can't even dream about. A lot that goes on that mortals are not aware of. There is an eternal war that has ravaged Erubrion since the dawn of creation. It is one that you were recruited for. You are on a side of it whether you realize it or not. I think I shouldn't say more for fear of my own safety, but just know, I don't know, just use your brain. You have the knowledge and yet none of you have even realized it yet. And he swirls into a cloud of mist again and swirls, and the bag lifts and shakes, and as the mist goes back into the bag, you hear a voice echo in your mind saying, respect. That's all I ask. And then he goes into the bag, the shutters blow open, Elliot looks at you, and he's wide-eyed, and a little puddle has formed underneath him. And he just says, All right, well, message delivered. And he turns invisible. And he turns invisible, and you just hear him clop over to the other satchel.
Yeah, Rev is like without even kind of like realizing it, just like tears stream down his face from just the like stress of that.
Yeah, for sure.
He takes a minute and like tries to collect himself. Before he like goes on.
Totally. Of course. Yeah, it's a very heavy moment. So yeah, the party has now found their way down into the bottom of the inn this morning. Atticus, your family joins you for a nice hearty breakfast of soft potatoes and sausages and various breakfast meats and eggs and cranberry juice all around if you want it. And
I do want to ask Georgia what she's been working on.
yeah, she looks at you because you ask her as you guys are like starting to get some food, and she says, "Oh, I can't show you right now
Why not?
because it's not ready."
Well, what is it?
Well, I can't tell you that.
Georgia, I don't know how long I'm gonna be gone for. I really want to know what it is.
Well, then you got to make sure you come back then.
George, I just brought you all these presents. You can't. I'll introduce you to Gustav.
Who's Gustav?
I don't know. He's a cool guy.
Atticus, your friends are kind of weird.
You're kind of weird. We're all kind of weird.
Well, yeah, but Atticus, it's a surprise, okay?
Fine. But I'll check in. When do you think you're gonna be done with it?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know, a few weeks. Now that I have these tinkering tools, it might go a little bit faster.
I'll check in with you. Just let me know when it's done. I'll see what I can do about getting back here.
I think it might help you out.
I have no doubt in that. And I'll whistle, and Gustav will come running in.
Oh my gosh! And she comes out and she just starts like rubbing on his face, and he's licking her, and it's a very, very cute moment. Yep. Anybody else do anything specific in the morning?
I do want to find Kelpie.
Yeah.
And apropos of nothing, like with the conversation that she had with Avra, just like walk up and like sit her down and just be, hey, I just want you to know, nothing you do can ever disappoint me or make me dislike you. And you're doing so great at just being who you are, and I always want you to be that. And if you ever need anything, just let me know.
She immediately starts like tearing up immediately. Like halfway through, like first sentence she starts, and she just wraps you in this big old hug and just starts crying.
It's very cute.
Yeah. I hug Kelpie and start crying. Also, just like dealing with a weird morning.
Yeah.
I sit down next to you guys and give you guys both a cry.
You start crying too.
Pharaoh literally just like sees you and cries, like just like immediately. Has no idea what's going on.
Welling up across the room. Like, that's nice. That's nice.
That's nice.
Vix is rolling his eyes. Like he's like he kind of doesn't understand how you guys have survived the ordeal that you've like been through. You're so emotional.
I was gonna say Ray kind of like probably might be sitting near Vix in this moment and is also like with just like another.
Are they always like this?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a lot of crying.
Yeah, and I get it. I guess like having an emotion.
Yeah, it's just at this point I just fear for dehydration, honestly.
Yeah, like get some water.
Yeah.
I say as I like take a tankard of water. I'm now like simultaneously like drinking coffee and water.
Yeah.
And I am gonna use thaumaturgy to just dim the lanterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
kind of bright.
Totally. Sarah, the barkeep, kind of chuckles when you do so.
Hey, Kelfi. I know we haven't talked a lot. Uh, if you didn't want to adventure anymore, if you didn't want to come with us, you could stay here with my family temporarily. I just want you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, and I think for now, I know what I want to do now is make sure that my mom's okay. And so far, I think she's in Duskull. And after that, I don't really know, but she'll like wipe the snot and everything. Uh, but that's what I want to do for now. But thank you. Your family seems really nice, and I
They
hope
are.
you come back to visit them soon.
I do too. You know what? I will help you do whatever it is that you want to do.
Kind of starts crying again.
Yeah, Kelpie's definitely a little overwhelmed at the amount of gestures that she has received this morning.
Elvern walks up to Kelpie and like clearly wants to say something, but he just like stiffly, with intention, just goes, "Just don't touch anything magical, okay?"
She'll start crying again and give him a big ol' hug.
He, like,
That's the nicest
he,
thing
like,
you've
up
ever
here, like,
said to
looking
me.
at it.
It basically is.
Oh,
Lovely.
Yep. Just don't. And then just like one pat on the head.
I go up and sit next to Kelpie. I say, "Hey, Kelpie, how's it going? How you feeling after your sherries from last night?"
Well, I know some of you guys say the next morning is rough. I don't really know why,
Yep.
but I feel okay.
Oh, that's good. Maybe some people sherry hits them differently, so maybe you're the one that can drink. But because I saw you drink a lot of glasses, and that would have made
I
me.
did.
It's good. As long as you feel good, that's good.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I think people call it a high tolerance. Is what I've heard.
Yes.
But I think maybe I have a high.
You might have a high tolerance.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable like giving you a bunch of alcohol, but if you have a high tolerance, then maybe it's okay.
Yeah. I feel like it is now. I mean, maybe I gotta taste for it now because it just tasted like juice.
Good,
Yeah.
good. This is all good.
Well, Kelpie, I don't want to talk to you about dragons or anything, but I did want to talk to you because I need some guidance from you specifically. Yeah. I don't know how to put this, but are you religious at all?
I'm not. I mean, when I was with the druids, they taught me about some gods, and one that they followed, and I pray to her occasionally, but not like that much. So I'm kind of religious, but mostly it's more about like balance for me. And if balance means people can do whatever they want, then to an extent, of course, like that makes more sense to me than trying to force other people on one sole belief or religion.
Hmm. I love that. That's beautiful. I was religious.
Kind of squares up and is like,
I like Pharaoh looks like he's having like an existential crisis. You know? I was religious for a really long time, but not so much recently. I've kind of been a little aimless for a really long time.
Why?
Well, I worship a god for a long time, a specific god. It's an elvish
Which god?
thing. Tempest.
Tempest?
Yeah,
What's
it's
that the god of? Who's Tempest?
war. Yeah.
What?
It was kind of the thing to do, I can follow you in. And I was very devout. I prayed to Tempest every day. And it led me to join the war effort to become a field medic. But I woke up one day and I thought, I don't want to do worship a god that is for war. That's not who I
Sure.
am. So I decided to just leave it all behind, which is
All of it.
yeah, kind of tough as a person who's pretty devoutly religious to just do that. And
You seem still religious, though. Though I haven't heard you mention a god, but like, you still seem religious, spiritual.
hmm.
So why didn't you find a new god after that god wasn't working for you?
I was searching for a long time. It's hard to find a new God, I've learned. I've put my thoughts and prayers out to many, many times, but um, none of it felt right. And honestly, I thought that leaving the God Tempest would make me feel better, but it just made me feel more confused and alone, maybe. Um,
Mm.
but recently, I I have found something that has responded to me in the first time in a really long time. Um, uh, by a waterfall, perhaps a woman, and I think they mentioned you.
Me?
As soon as he, because you guys are talking about gods, and as soon as he talks about gods related to a waterfall, that immediately rings a bell to you because the Greenleaf tribe mainly worship the god Eldath, as you know, and the symbol for Eldath is a waterfall plunging into a still pool of water.
Wow. Well, I don't know who sent you this vision, but it's like specific. Because so I mentioned that the druids had a god, and if you didn't like the god of war, then you might like the god of peace. And that's Eldath. And her little symbol is a waterfall. I feel like opposite of war, and you're seeing waterfalls.
Hmm.
If you make that connection,
And
like it makes sense.
do you believe in Eldath? Do you think Eldath like guides you, or do you pray to her specifically?
I pray to her sometimes.
Hmm.
On like sometimes when I'm feeling lonely, I'll talk to her. I've never really had her talk back to me, as I've heard some people's gods do. But I believe she exists. I believe most gods that people exist because everybody can't be crazy and say their god talks to them.
Yeah. Gods are well, Kelfie, I thank you for telling me this. I knew that you would give me the guidance that I needed. I have a lot to ponder about this. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to a new god yet.
Sure.
But
I've never given anyone guidance before, so this is fun.
well, I trusted in your ability to steer me to the right path.
I am glad to help.
Hmm.
She squares her shoulders, like sitting even more tall. Just like,
I am glad to have known you, Kelfie, and I hope that you do what you want to do or need to do, but I hope that you stay with our group.
Thanks. She's crying.
More crying, more hugging.
More crying, more hugs.
Yeah. Another scoff from Vix.
What an emotional morning, guys.
And so you all prepare for the morning. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before you leave the town of Pine Drift?
Take a monster dump.
Okay, cool. Easily. Done. You clog the outhouse.
Ew. How is that
leave.
even possible?
It was bad.
I leave very quickly, and I'm like checking around, like, shh.
Atticus, you obviously say goodbye to your
I have a
family.
big, long, emotional goodbye with my family. Tell them to take care of each other, and I buy as much butt water as I could buy on my way out.
After last night, because you guys definitely, and it was a small shipment to begin with, but you're able to buy 4 bottles of butt water
Okay,
for cool. 2 gold.
Cool.
I do, after he makes that purchase, after I break the outhouse, I walk over to Atticus. I go, I don't know if you remember, but they said that Tim and Weimer are in Duskull right now. So we might be able to...
I'm very excited to see them again.
Yeah, we might be able to catch... I couldn't remember if you were in the room for that or if I had said anything.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, that was before.
They're in Duskull, so maybe we can check in and have a night when we're not, trying to...
For sure.
Slay a beast, a monstrous
dragon. Hey, hopefully they're still alive, and I'll kind of laugh and be like,
I laugh too. I laugh, and you see in my eyes, you're like, God, man, That's dark, but like I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If you want, I can send a message to Tom.
It's
Tim.
not Tom, it's Tim.
No, it's Tom. Yeah, it is Tom.
No,
No,
he
it's
said
Tom.
it's Tim.
Hey, Tom. Rabbit season, duck season. Oh, yeah. Send a message to Tom or White.
It's
Whatever.
Tim. You're not going to get
Okay.
it. His name is
I'm gonna send him. Can you describe Tom for me?
Oh gosh, here we go
Why don't we
again.
describe Wayne? Why don't we describe Waymer? That way we're on the same page.
Okay. I try to set a sending message to Waymer.
Do you use Avra to do the whole minor illusion thing that you normally
would
do?
Definitely, yes. I would pull her off.
All right, so let's go ahead and, because you have both Elburn and Atticus doing it, Atticus or Elburn, one of the two of you, roll just a straight up intelligence check at advantage.
I will.
Go for it.
At advantage.
Yep.
9 at advantage.
9 at advantage. Emily, go ahead and roll basically a spell attack. Roll a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
A 15.
Okay, a 15. Pharaoh, you look at the image that Abra has created, you attempt to cast the spell, and you feel like a target has not been reached.
Did you get him?
No one answered.
Okay, because his name is Tim.
It was we were sending it to Weimer.
I said I was trying to send to Weimer.
Oh. I mean,
Did
it's
it not
pretty
connect, or did you not like send it not
I-
correctly? But did
yeah,
we not describe it
I
correctly?
think Elburn did a bad job at describing him. That's my sense.
Probably.
I didn't. She's the one. I didn't.
Hey, don't put this on me. I'm just
No one to
I'm here
take-
help.
No one to take a loss, man. No one to
Yeah,
take a loss.
your minor illusion, Avery, was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was really good. It was really good.
Avra's literally
working
just
on it.
becoming a sketch artist part time.
Yeah, like suspect list.
Yeah. So you all hop on your horses and or your Vestians, and
or become one.
and Atticus, your family, all gives you a big hug, but your dad is actually not there. Yeah.
I would seek him out.
He's not.
I would go to that house.
He's not at the house either. Yeah.
I asked the old lady, the old hag,
Mm-hmm.
if
She answers, "Hello."
do you know where Phineas went?
Who?
The man who stays with you.
No one stays with me.
He's been staying with you for a little bit.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
A couple weeks. His name is Phineas Varcona. Got a big mustache, kind of looks like me, but older.
Oh, nope.
Nobody's
Minor
been living
illusion
with
him.
you. This guy.
Yeah. Oh, handsome fella.
We were at your house last night. I was here.
All my illusion us at her house last night.
Oh, you know exactly what my table looks like.
Yeah, we were there. We were in there. You take a left. You go into the room.
Oh, stop it.
You've never heard of Phineas Varcona?
Who?
Can I do an insight check to see if she's crazy or legitimately doesn't know?
I'm sure. Roll an insight check.
19 plus 3, 22.
She seems super duper crazy, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's not telling the truth.
I'll go run over to my mom and sister and grandpa and be like,
Uh-huh.
she says he's never stayed there. I can't find him. I gave him the family longsword. Where is Dad?
Oh, I don't know. We don't usually talk to her. She says she's never seen him?
She says she's never seen him. Nobody's staying with her. She's very old, though. But he's not here.
Well, I mean, I've seen I've seen him in that house a few times.
Have you seen him outside of the house?
No, in the house and outside.
You want me to send him a message?
Yeah, you can try. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Has the old woman ever been awake when you've been there?
No.
Hmm.
She sleeps a lot.
I'll try to send a message to Phineas.
Okay.
Guess who it is? Atticus is here wanted to say goodbye. Everything's great. You seemed to have been redeemed, so that's cool. Have a good life.
Have a good. You hear a voice in your head say, hi, don't know who this is. Waiting on the outskirts of town for Atticus. Is he coming? Aren't you guys leaving? Hello? And then nothing.
I should have introduced myself to your dad before sending that message. Atticus. But he's in the outskirts of town.
You're muted.
I got real worried there. Let's just go. Yeah, let's just go on the way out. We'll
Thought
stop.
your dad was a ghost or something.
We should
So I
still
was-
ask about that lady, though, right? Just to, like, make sure.
Yeah, maybe. She's very old.
You guys get to the outskirts of town, and about like a few hundred feet out of town, you do see Phineas sitting there, and he's just kind of chilling with his arms crossed, leaning up onto a tree, and he waves as all of you approach, and you see him. He says, "Tomorrow, son, how are you?"
Good. How'd you sleep last night? I had the best night of sleep I've had in a long time.
He smiles at that, and he says, "I couldn't agree more."
Were we all there for that, or did Atticus tell us about it? Did we like follow him to the house?
I don't know.
would have
That's
taken you guys.
Yeah, I
with
think.
me.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean,
guys wanted to come, I wouldn't have like separated. So it depends if
Yeah.
you really wanted
I think
to
you
go.
were along for the ride because where else would you have gone?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if we were gonna like meet up with him or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's up to you.
Well, if we all went, then we're all like
Yeah.
on it.
I assumed we were going there on the way out. And then,
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah, she is on the way out of town.
Yeah.
When we get up to Atticus's dad,
Uh-huh.
feeling kind of weird about this. I'm gonna like, is Kelpie? You said you're a best man right now.
Oh, I mean, as we were probably leaving, I would shapeshift. But if
Okay.
we're not like
So like,
leaving, probably not yet. No, because I have a limited time.
okay, I'm gonna like lean over and whisper to Kelpie and be like, "Can you put your little thingy on and like true sight the shit out of this?"
Out of
Dad.
Atticus's dad.
You want to true sight my dad?
I'm not talking to you. Well, like, the lady didn't know who he was, and then like,
Couldn't have just
Not
been a
because-
crazy old lady.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
we like walked up and he said, "Good morrow, son." Like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is?
it's my dad.
No, he didn't talk like that yesterday. Shut up, Vinny, or fucking
Sorry.
Atticus. I'm not talking to you. Ray's still like a little bit drunk. She's like yelling, but she thinks she's whispering.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can. I only get to use it once per day, so if you think I should use it now instead of later.
Like,
If you just
okay.
look at him I can just look at him really hard and see if he looks suspicious to me.
Okay, after the dragon stuff, I'm not really quite there with you yet.
Okay, that's fair.
terms of
That's
trust,
fair.
But that's really nice. Thank you.
fair.
Let's table that, and I will
Okay.
come back to that because like there is some trust still in there.
Yeah.
I just-
I can I'll just do it.
I just
I'll
think do it. Like let's
Put
just-
the eye patch on and activate true sight.
Rude.
You activate True Sight, and you look around, and you look at Atticus's father, Phineas, and you notice nothing.
Nothing. I knew it.
Quick, we got 50
Bullshit.
seconds. Let's go back to that woman's house. True sighter.
True sight the
I
woman.
I can run really fast.
We
The,
pick
the,
up
the old
Kelpie
lady,
and chuck her.
the old lady said she'd never had seen you before. She had no idea who you were.
Yeah, she says that to everybody.
Dude,
Can I
Insight
insight
walk?
check him?
I'm
Can I
looking
drive
at
him?
Sure.
I'm
dude.
on. I am no longer
Yeah,
drunk.
Ray
I
and
am
Atticus.
on.
Ray and Atticus get the insight checks. I heard them first.
Just
14.
looking around for the next 10
Oh, I
minutes.
wasn't rolling an
Minute.
inside check.
14,
I was
you said?
flat out just being like, who the fuck?
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Why?
that was even worse.
Why are we so suspicious of the dad right now?
Because
I love it.
suspicious
I
of
love it. I love it. I
everyone.
love it.
It's
so
Phineas
is-
Spark Coda, we get it.
I got a 12.
12. Yeah, you guys believe that he's telling the truth.
I mean, if you
What?
want, I can go check out the old lady, do like a little divine, see if I get any sense
No, I'm
sense
over
off
it.
her.
I'm over it. I
But
hate
she
don't think
just
that's a
she
bad idea.
she has a really bad. She's super old. She has a really bad memory. She never
How old is super old?
99.
Oh,
Okay.
When's your, when,
Is she
when's
a
your birthday?
human?
Huh?
Is she a human or an elf? Because for an elf, that's,
She's
I
a
feel like
human.
that's not that old. Then that's pretty old.
The human lifespan is so fleeting. I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're, such an old
Why you?
man.
she wakes up and it's the same day to her every day.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, did she
That
get hit
sounds
on the
like
head?
A
No, she's just old.
I still think
book
You
that I
like
read
give her
once.
the same newspaper every day?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eventually, does she get married and her husband?
yeah. Does she
somehow-
fall in? Did her
She's not
husband know?
really cognizant enough to know what's going on.
Have
She
you heard of
gets
Adam
up.
Sandler?
She gets up and she kind of she's living in a fog kind of all the time. She gets up and she kind of just experiences her day and then goes to sleep. It's just a little sad.
You don't bring her like a pineapple every day.
No, that's well. I was hired by her son when he visited town.
That being said,
Right.
Atticus, I don't think it's a bad idea to do it.
I mean, we could if we want to stop by.
We've
over
had
there.
bad experiences with people who seem very nice.
Anyway, I was just here to say goodbye to you. I had some errands to run, so I thought I'd meet you here.
Where are you going?
Sorry to cause. I was just chopping wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what?
yeah. For the house?
Hello, Phineas. It is me, Pharaoh. I would just talk to you recently in your head.
Yes, sounds familiar.
If you
I,
get any
I,
messages, it's going to be from this guy.
I apologize. I seem to have caused some sort of rift, and I really did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to give Atticus this, and he takes off his, not his wedding ring, but a ring that you've always seen him wear on his index finger. And he gives it to you, and it is a ring with a shield with your family's crest on it. And he gives it to you, and he says, "I hope this protects you."
Thank you. And it won't leave my sight.
And he smiles and kind of, because you're on your horse, he kind of pats your leg. All right, well,
I'll hop down on.
yeah, you hop down, and he gives you a hug, and he says, "Well, good luck to you, and good luck to all of you. Your dragons are pretty easy, so it shouldn't be too hard."
Killed
And
one.
then he kind of smiles at that.
Well, I wouldn't say easy.
Oh, I was
I
joking.
I look forward to seeing you upon our return.
Me as well. Maybe I'll look a bit more presentable the next time you come into town.
Hey, you should eat something.
I agree. I feel my appetite returning. Then he kind of smiles.
Hey, try some of this. I'll hand him some of the butt water. Have you tried
Oh.
this yet? It's great.
What is it?
Butt water.
What's that?
Some people call it clear water. That's a dumb name.
Oh no, I'm sober.
Good.
Yeah. I feel I have a lot of internal kind of work to do, and yeah,
For sure.
I'm maybe
sure.
someday, it's not a permanent thing, but for right now. Thanks though.
the XII steps.
Yeah. yeah.
Were we going to? We're popping a divine sense on that hag, or are we just leaving?
I guarantee you she's just a kindly old woman.
I say give it a try. Why not?
I mean, we could get on the road. There is like a
I'm
dragon.
over it.
Yeah, we should
Guy will
probably
still be
leave.
there.
I think that time's kind of the essence here.
We got attacked by a Rakshasa who was posing as somebody nice.
Yeah, but she's not
Well, the old
following
lady's not following us. Yeah, exactly.
Not right now.
Yeah, but she is with
I
my
turn
family.
around.
All in favor of
I
leaving?
Now that you see people.
All in favor of staying and going after the hag?
Jesus
Wow.
Wow, you guys.
Just real quick. I'll
I
pop a
thought I
divine
was
sense.
proving a
from-
point, but
All right, you're right back to the hag's house. You pop a divine sense. You sense nothing. You've wasted
All
5
right, let's
minutes.
go.
You continue on your journey.
In that 5 minutes, all of the dragons coalesce.
The Tiamat.
Yeah, well, let's just hope the party doesn't wish that they were 5 minutes earlier to something later on. As you
Yeah, because that's the only.
If my
time
mom
we've
is dead because of you guys.
If we would have
Pharaoh
just
will
showed
bring her
up
back to life.
6 minutes earlier.
Good save, sir.
Demetrius comes out. He's like, "We just fucking talked."
yeah. You voted to go back to the hag when clearly that was a waste of time.
I wish Demetrius would pop out. I fucking wish he would show his face.
All right, so you guys hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. No.
I
more.
want to come back though. My family's.
And you travel for about a week, and nothing happens. It's a pretty uneventful journey until you eventually come up to the outskirts as the sun begins to set on your 7th day, and you see a large stone giant wall first is what you see in the distance. You feel that you're pretty it's pretty flat plains from Pine Drift to Duskull, so you're able to see it when you're quite far away. You eventually make your way there, and you see that the large double door metal gates on the outskirts of the city are closed, and you
Kind of sounds like they're open now.
yeah, I know, right?
what timing?
Here, where's the oh, this is kind of what I needed to be in the background. Yeah. As those of you who are from Duskull know, and those of you who have heard of it are aware, Duskull is a large mining town, and gets most of its economy from trade in the city from the various resources and gems and materials that are mined from near and around the local Great Tip Mountains, and then brought here to Duskull, where most of the trade happens. The large city has a large citadel in the very middle of the city, that's almost shaped as if it was a giant factory warehouse, but definitely more ornate. But it's just like a big open-looking building with various windows. And then the rest of the city of Duskull itself is actually relatively low height. The buildings, they don't seem to be more than 3 or 4 stories. And along the wall is about 50 feet high, made of hard carved stone, and it goes all the way around the city. Even though that there are some like farms and stuff that you passed on your way in, but this is it almost looks as if it doesn't belong. You know, you're expecting this land is like farmland and livestock area, but then this huge industrial city, even more industrialized than Stagham, appears out of nowhere. And you begin to approach the gates, and the large metal gates are closed, and you see 4 guardsmen on the outside, 2 on either side of the gates. And as you approach, one of the guardsmen with his spears kind of looks to you all, and he's a tall human man with black scruffy beard, and he seems to be bored out of his mind. And he looks to you all and he says, "What are your names?"
Barrow Ganondale.
And the party with Pharaoh Ganondale.
Right, like, who are you?
Atticus Varcona.
Where
Right,
are you?
Have I been to Dusk Hall before? I'm assuming I have.
Yeah, you have.
Have I been to Dusk Hall before?
No.
I feel like. Okay.
I don't think so.
Calvina.
I don't know why you would have come this far south, but I mean maybe I guess, but you have been alive for a
Probably
while. But
passed around it. Probably never went in.
it's definitely been a while for sure.
Kofina, Trin Bricks. I used to live here.
Right, but okay. What's your business?
Dragon
Passing through.
slaying. Oh.
Okay.
Passing through to kill dragons.
Right,
I'm gonna
just-
just quickly message to Kelpie, like, this is a good example.
Wait.
So you
just
start.
kind of takes a step back.
Well, wait, hold
behind
on.
Everyone.
Abra, so you start casting the spell message. You always seem to forget that, you can't just simply.
You're right.
Put your
right.
mind-
Actually,
so-
no, what I would do is I would say that to Kelpie in halfling.
Okay, cool.
Good call.
So you say that in halfling. Remember,
Yeah,
casting
yeah.
message is definitely still a spell that you're taking the moment to
yeah.
cast.
You're right.
And the guard just kind of looks at you all and kind of seems unfazed by Kilfie's words, being the fact that she's a child. And looks at Atticus and Pharaoh, who said they were just passing through, and kind of looks to the other guardsmen, then looks to the rest of you. Well, as I'm sure you're aware, we have come under recent duress, so please try not to cause any trouble. And they step to the side, and one of the guardsmen just takes the butt end of their spear, bangs it on the gate twice, and the gates begin to open, and you are welcomed into the city itself. As you now get in past the walls, you can see that the city is, you can start to see where the city has been damaged, and where the attack from the Red Dragon occurred. All of the fires at this point have been put out, but you can definitely see the damage. Most of the buildings are stone, and so they don't seem to be burned too poorly. But any wooden parts of structures around are definitely burned. There are some buildings that seem to be just burned straight to the ground. The people around the city seem to be relatively, I would say, just relatively downtrodden, relatively weary, as you guys all walk in, especially with Vix and Ecor and their, quite frankly, reptilian state definitely causes some glances. And as you all walk in, who would be in the back of the group?
I would probably be in the back. I would also be appearing as Randy Greastain.
Okay.
God damn.
I'm definitely in the back, just kind of like
Okay, Rev and Elburn, make perception checks for me.
Randy Greastain is still the funniest fucking thing.
Randy Greastain.
15.
Gonna luck mine.
Okay.
Amazing.
I probably noticed nothing.
I've got a 18.
Okay, 18. Elburn, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary, but Rev, you notice as the gates begin to close that two of the guardsmen kind of look at you guys as you are leaving and then whisper something to each other. And then one of the guardsmen who's whispering comes inside the gate before it closes, continues to watch you for a bit, and then starts to head down a different direction.
I mean, other than the fact that you made me roll to find that information out, I don't know what to do with it.
I mean, it is definitely like, you as Rev know what is in Duskull. You know that you're wary. That's why you changed into Randy. And you do see these two guardsmen definitely like eyeing you in a suspicious way. The one snakes into the door before it's closed, eyes you again, and then walks with purpose off in a certain direction. So it makes you feel a little icky.
Sure. I kind of like try and get, since Eldrin's back there with me, his attention, and like just kind of like, looks like our arrivals caused something of note. Like somebody's keeping track of us. It might just be like when we were in Stagham, where the guards are just letting the town officials know that we're here.
Great.
You think they know where the Lake Peak 6?
I mean, we are a group who arrived saying that we were here to kill dragons. So
Well, one of us said that.
sure.
Helpy's like, just this morning. No.
She's very upset with herself.
That was about a week ago, actually.
I respect that, and I don't mind that you told them we were here to kill dragons. I think that was a good move.
Wait.
Being an adult is confusing. You get mixed messages all the time. Just deal with it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I
He
try.
looks very
I
confused.
Yep,
I just become
that's
a little
about right.
more perceptive of my surroundings, or at least like pay more attention. Like I was paying attention, but now I'm like extra paying attention to people who might be like watching us after he pointed out that someone snaked into the city.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, you guys are in the city of Duskwell now, so.
Atticus takes it, so he's walking around like a celebrity now.
Does this place look the same as Stagham, where there's like camp set up for injured and things, or is it still a little bit more of a functioning town at this
It
point?
actually looks like to be more of a functioning town,
Okay.
and it's not super hard to deem the reasoning behind that. It seems like this town took a lot less damage than Stagham did, actually. And those who are familiar with Duskull probably know that is because although Duskull did not have the defenses required to fend off a dragon attack, they are a little bit more heavily defended than other cities simply due to their proximity to the Great Tip Mountains and the creatures that live within there, flying and otherwise. And so they have ballistas on the edges of the walls that already existed. So you actually do note that the city seems less damaged than Stagham, and that you don't notice any like infirmaries or anything. However, you do know that Duskull has a very large hospital. So it might have just been able to hold everybody.
Well, we could go to. I think I remember where most things are here, so we could go to like town hall. We can go to the hospital. We can go to my old house.
You know of and you also know of, like you said, there's there is no town hall. There's the fortress in the middle. For those of you who don't know, it would make sense that most of you probably don't, but those of you who are from Duskull would know. Duskull, although very industrial like Stagham, is actually still a monarchy. It is somewhat like Victorian London, I would say. Whereas the fact that it's like there is a monarchy, but there's also like somewhat of a government, a little bit less so. The monarchy has a little bit more control. But King Reynaldus is the king of Duskull, and there is a council, the King's Council, that has certain members, important members of the city itself. So there's the castle in the middle of the city. Like you said, of your house. You know where the hospital is. You also know of the two major taverns / inns of the town. There's Diamond in the Rough, which is like more of a high class, more of a classy joint. Your mother always wanted to perform there. And then there's the Gray Spout, which is still a very well-known and well-maintained establishment, but a little bit more party-centric and a little bit more bombastic. So yeah, those are the places that you know of innately. There's also, you guys, I think in Roll20, should all have access to the map of Duskull. You should see it on the sides.
Yep.
So you'll see that there's that number 5 there, that Steep Cliff Trade Market. There's some trade markets outside of the city, outside of the walls that you have to come in through. And Dustin is that kind of farmland that you walked in through. But yeah, there's also the Duskull Arena. There's the All's Temple District. So yeah, that's all the stuff.
Does anybody have any contacts here? I mean, I can get us in touch with like some local government officials, but that's about the only thing that I can do.
Do I?
I only have a mom.
No, you would not have any. You specifically over the last millennia have tried not to make any contacts. So.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check.
Yeah, for sure.
My background, I know the inner workings of like local law enforcement.
Yeah.
That's about all that I can do.
I know,
That's
Kathy,
why we
you're
go,
looking for
no.
your mom. Maybe we can go to where your house was, but I did stock the spell Locate Creature, so we could use that if you needed to.
What time is
Mama
it?
creature.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a very fun roundabout insult.
Yeah, your mom's a creature, but in a good
I mean,
way.
I also have. I know of a scarf that she usually would like wear all the time, and I tracked that. Tried
Or
to
you
track
just
that
walk
last
around.
time. I mean, we could check at my house first.
Yeah.
I'm less like worried because this seems like they didn't take as brutal of an attack, so I'm not too worried about her being okay. But obviously, I still want to find her. So if we have somewhere else we want to go, we can go there first. We can go wherever you guys want.
I don't know. Is there anything? Anything interesting? You and I look at the guard. If there's a guard nearby.
Yeah, there's a random patrolling guard. Not one of the ones that was at the gate, since you guys have walked in a bit, but yeah, there's a random patrolling guard.
Hey, is there anything that's specifically off limits right now because of the recent attack or anything?
Oh, no, there's nothing really off limits. No, there's,
Jesus Christ.
really, Duskull's a pretty strong city, you know, we can take a beating, we can, so I would say most of the city's pretty up and running. We're tough, we are.
Just out of curiosity, is your name Dick Van Dyke?
What?
I'm just curious. What's your name?
What is the business of yours?
I just like to get to know the people who I talk to and try to understand.
That's
Right.
a lie.
Anything else I can do for you, citizen?
I would like to know your name.
Anything else?
Your last name?
Anything else?
This guard's a hag.
Are performers still performing at the Diamond in the Rough?
Yeah,
It's open. Is the gray spout open as well?
yeah,
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
right.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, jog off. And he walks away.
Okay. As he turns around, because he said jog off, I just like give him a couple of these.
And you guys
I mean,
do
to be honest,
notice. And you guys do notice. You are just to let you know, because I know it's hard to track sometimes. It is now with that traveling that you guys have done a week after Pine Drift. It is now like it is now the 5th of Chontador, and fall is starting to begin, and especially this far south, it is definitely cooler than you guys are used to. So it is early fall here in the evening as the sun has gone down. So where would you like to go?
For like 2 seconds, Ray becomes basic. And it's like,
Do you guys want to go get some pumpkin spice lattes?
I'd like to get some pumpkin ale.
I don't know what a latte is, but I'll try it.
I
A
think
latte.
Mom.
Yeah. I mean, we are here for dragons, but we should try to reunite Kelpie and her
That
mom.
feels like the
It's
most
also
time
priority.
sensitive thing, right?
Well, the dragon
mom or
is
the
actually
dragon?
the most time-sensitive thing for
The
me.
mom to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, let's check in. We
Yeah.
all found our loved ones.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have.
We can
we're
all
not
have
look at
any.
each other like,
Well, we didn't all find each
Yeah.
other.
When we've had the opportunity to find our loved ones, we
yeah,
have
we got loved
made
ones. We got
efforts
loved
to do
ones.
that.
We got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Right,
mean,
you're
I
very loved here.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
loved,
yeah,
all
you're my
your
loved ones, but I'm not looking.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
only you.
I'm
yeah.
right
found your
here.
loved
You
ones.
found.
Why don't?
Oh my
why-
god.
Why don't we? We can.
Rev's dad is here too. I don't want to like take over the group. So
We can also like we can send a couple of us who don't have loved ones to
The
that
fortress?
the fortress there and see if we can make contact, see what they know about
want to
the.
talk to the king? Well, I don't know if you can talk to the king.
I could
You
talk
can-
to the king.
Is it a king? I'm not entirely.
It's a king.
Sure.
Yeah, I could. I'm pretty good with monarchs. I can.
Well, I
go
don't
talk
mean
to-
like that you just like. I think you can. You just like physically they won't let you.
Okay, this
I
is a
think we should
challenge
all-
I'm willing to accept.
I
Well,
think we should all stick together. I'm just gonna throw that out there. There's dragons in the area. I think we should all stick together.
I agree.
Should probably also find out how recently the dragon
Should we-
attacked.
should we
Like if
vote
it
on
was a
We-
one and
we
done.
voted
Yeah.
on- Yeah, I mean, we voted on the potential hag. Should we vote on this to see if we should?
I like this voting thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
and
you want to find your dad, Rev? Where does your dad usually hang out? Or sorry, Tony
yeah.
Pasta Water. What's your name?
Randy.
Randy Greastain.
Sorry, Randy.
He's, maybe I'll make my way around the Temple of Gond to see if he's. I don't think that'll take long. Mostly, I
Do
just
you
like
not-
to know that he's.
Okay, but you don't want to make contact. I just want it. Whatever you want, I want to respect your wishes.
I. Randy Greastain really appreciates it.
okay, Randy.
This is very hard for Randy Greastain.
I will say I didn't want to see my dad. I saw my dad, and I'm better off for it. Maybe I just wish the same for you. That's all. But I don't know your history, but
I just don't know that I'm ready for that.
I respect that.
We all have to
Also,
jump in head
also
first for
dealing with a
trauma.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, do you just want to know if he's all right?
That's mostly it. Yeah.
So should we go? Where would your dad be? I mean,
Whoa, slow down, Randy Greastain. We know this is stressful, but
He spent a lot of time in the Temple of Gond. I think he'd probably
Right.
be around there.
nice. Okay.
Well, you can go
Oh.
there and then maybe ask about Kelsey's mom on the way, see if anybody has heard of her. She's kind of a person of note. She usually leaves a trail, right, Kelsey?
I mean, she if she's back here, she might be at the the tavern called the Diamond in the Rough. She
That place
mentioned
is
that.
nice. I've been
She
there
mentioned
once.
that as a place she really wants to perform, and so if she was like performing in Stackham and came back, maybe she came back to perform there.
So are we
Okay.
taking this day to just like? Forgive me. Are we just taking this day to see people, or are we like getting going on this dragon?
We can do
thing?
both.
Yeah, we could do both.
'Cause,
It's
like,
actually like 7 p.m. now.
We can probably do one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's stuff can definitely wait.
I mean, we can also split up.
The map
like-
is actually the one that you have in roll 20 is mislabeled. That 9, the 9 should be inside that gate wall.
I
Okay.
figured.
So you could actually go through the All's Temple district to get to the Diamond in the Rough.
Cool.
Just go check, pop in real quick.
We can do
Just,
that.
walk
Maybe
by.
get a room.
Yeah,
at the Diamond
we
in the
can just
Rough
take kind
tonight.
of a long way to get to the fortress. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know how late we could talk to anyone at the fortress, but
I
maybe.
mean, we're also being, and I lean into the group and I go, we're also being watched according to, what's her name? Randy?
Randy.
Who's watching
Randy's,
Papa
very-
breadsticks. What was it?
whoa.
Mhm. Yeah,
His
so
name
when
John.
he was walking in, there was, the guys that was aware of us. I think it's mostly, like in Stageham, there was like a very aware that we was there. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on us. I think that's mostly it.
I lean in and whisper to Elburn. By the way, Randy Greastain is Rev.
I say nothing, but just stare at Pharaoh and just like really.
Alright, so where do you guys head? To the Temple of
Temple
Gond in the All's Temple
I
district?
say we vote.
Yeah.
Where do we go first, folks?
Okay, so you're going to the Temple of Gond in the All's Temple district.
That's what I said.
And so you, easily enough, you follow Kelpie / Atticus / Rev's directions to the All's Temple district, where there are various temples. One of the larger ones definitely being to Gond. Currently, it is a large, a large cathedral-like temple with a large circular stained glass window right above the doors with the symbol of Gond right on it. And the door is currently it's a big double wooden and iron doors. They are currently open with 2 lit lanterns on either side, and there seems to be lit lanterns and candles on the inside of the temple as well.
Do you want to walk in there, Frankie Meatballs, or do you want somebody else to?
Yeah, I might just go pop my head in and see what's going on.
So everybody else stays outside? All right, so Rev, you walk inside the temple, and the Temple of Gond is one of the religion and the worshiping of Gond is one of the more popular religions in Erubrion, as we've discussed. And his temples are very cathedral-like, and so there is a long aisle down the middle. There are pews that are set up on either side that are really just benches. They're not actual pews with backs to them. They're benches, stone benches. Everything's stone in here. Not that Gaunt disapproves of woodwork, but just stone is a way that most Gond worshippers really feel. Stonework is a way that they feel is in reverence to Gond. And so you continue to walk forward. You see the large altar of Gond at the front of the pews, and then there's like a stage, and then on either side are 2 wooden doors. One on the left is completely shut, one on the right is cracked a little bit, and there's darkness in the room.
I look to see if there's like a posting. Like one, I'd look around to see if my dad's there.
Yeah, there's actually nobody in this temple. Go ahead and make a perception check.
18.
18. You notice that the candles/lanterns are kind of on their last legs. It's actually pretty dim in here. They've been burned quite low. And to answer your question that you were starting to answer, you asked if there was going to be like a posting in the actual temple.
Yeah, looking for a posting, looking to like see if there's like a list of like past parishioners.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. At the front of the church. At the front of the church, it does currently list what did they call him? Hold on. They have specific names. The some are Meisters, some are other stuff. He is a maker. So you see actually a little bit of behind the scenes action here. Don't know Rev's last name. You see Maker and then your last name, Rev's last name, his father's last name, as the current maker of the Temple of God.
And mostly I was looking at to see if there's like a list of like prayers being served for anybody who would have passed. Or anything like that.
Yeah, there's
if he's listed, I guess, as the current, probably.
Yeah, it says that it does list him as the current maker. It does not. There doesn't seem to be any like after major tragedies, like a wall of pictures of people or like stuff like that. Like there doesn't seem to be anything like that.
Okay. I'm going to take him being listed as the current maker as good enough for me that he's still alive. Is there an offering bowl?
Yeah, it's up towards the front by the altar.
I just rip a page out of my journal.
Okay.
And write a really quick note. I'm gonna get into that.
Yeah. As
you
approach the altar, can you make another perception check for me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this might affect what happens.
Mm-hmm. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you approach the altar and rip out the page and begin to start writing, a glint catches your eye. You're not exactly sure what it is, but the door that is cracked open, there is something on the stone floor that seems to be some kind of liquid that is like on the ground that is gleaming whatever moonlight is in that room at just the right angle that you can see it.
Hmm. I gotta go look and see what's going on.
So you go and you open up the door, and there is what looks to be where your father probably sleeps and lives most of his life. It is it's just a one room bedroom, but it's quite large, and there's like a counter with a basin and a fireplace, a bookshelf with a table and two chairs set on either side, a nice big bed, pretty much everything that he would need to live his life, and then just one small stained glass window that allows the moonlight to come in. At least that is what you would see if it wasn't as incredibly disheveled and ransacked as it currently looked. And the liquid that is on the floor is unmistakably a pile of blood.
Take a deep breath and like try to like contain myself. Go into sneaky stealth mode and try and push the door open and evaluate what's going on.
Yeah, you push the door open. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
28.
28. You are very stealthy. You open the door, somehow just like being able to sense every creak that you can just pause and then slightly push and then keep. I mean, it's very almost motionless and soundless, the movements that you make into the room. It is incredibly disheveled. Go ahead and make a investigation check for me.
I got a 17, but I'm also going to use my psionic energy dice to give myself an additional d6 to that.
Wonderful.
Which just bumps it up to an 18.
Okay. You look around the room. The first thing that you notice, and the first thing that you examine, is the puddle of blood. And the thing that you immediately notice about this puddle of blood that is either reassuring or incredibly frightening, maybe both, is that it is very fresh. Go ahead. Are you about to say something?
Is there a body?
There is no body. And there does seem to be a sign of struggle. The blood kind of is smeared towards the door, and then the tracks stop. You look around the room. Being a maker, he doesn't have a lot of material goods. However, you do find your father's journal. It's been ripped up and torn. Nothing's been taken from it, but it's just been like, well handled. And you also find his religious text that he usually has on him, and that's about all that you notice. There is a change of clothes, some robes that he has that that are all variably the same. But yeah, that's pretty much what you discover in this room.
Being a thief, being a rogue, I want to look around the room and see if this was meant to be an attack or if this was meant to be a robbery that was interrupted.
Yeah, with that same investigation check, I will say that you notice no signs of forced entry. You notice that the pool of blood and the fact that there's a smear in it means that whoever did bleed in this room was taken, and so therefore because nothing else is missing, including that person's journal,
Mhm.
you think that maybe your father or whoever was in this room was the target, and it was a directed attack on him.
Mhm. You said the journal is missing.
The journal is not missing,
The
and that's
journal-
what
okay.
and that's what makes you think it's not a robbery.
Right.
Yeah.
Collect the journal. I take the religious text to flip through it later just to see. And so some people write notes and like
Yeah.
buttons and stuff like that. And
Totally.
so, yeah. Anything that's important, he probably would have had that close at hand and stuck it in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that there's anything else that I could like learn from this room.
Yeah. It does seem to be pretty. It seems to be. Yeah, what you just said. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be that you can. That this can give you any more useful piece of information.
I walk out. I do go to the offering bowl still, and put a note in there.
Okay.
Just sign it with my initials, RG.
Okay.
Put 100 gold.
Oh, so and I apologize for me as a DM not knowing this information. Is Grayskin your real middle name? Your real last name?
No.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But all my character iterations are RG.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just making sure that I didn't. Yeah, we don't know your father's last name publicly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I walk out to the group. I am clearly struggling with something on my face. As I leave, like try to do the best I can to like make it look like the room hasn't otherwise been touched.
Yeah.
But make my way back out to the group outside of the church. And, he wasn't there. He was taken, I think.
Like kidnapped?
Dad napped.
Is that a specific kind of thinking of a person?
I tried to hold it in.
Do you know who would have? Do you know anybody who would have taken him? Do you know?
I mean, he didn't have a lot of money, so I don't think anybody was going after him for that. And Gond, is not a church that's got a lot of enemies. But,
Did he have any personal enemies that you knew of?
none that I can think of. My biggest fear right now is that somehow the Angel King figured out who I was and went after my dad.
What if it was the little thing in your backpack there?
I don't think that was it.
I mean, I could maybe try to locate your dad if you want to do that.
Yeah, it looked like he was in a fight. There was a lot of blood, so I don't know if he's conscious. Does your message spell?
Let's see.
You want us to look in the room where you found it? Did you find everything? Like any
I don't-
clue?
Where it
I
happened.
don't want us to get like implicated in this in any way.
Yeah. I don't-
Got in and out, and don't think I left any evidence behind that I was there. But
Can I do a real quick perception check to see if there's anybody currently watching us?
Yes, you can.
mhm.
Yes, you can.
But should we still tell someone about it?
Oh, you piece of shit. It was 16 and then it bounced to 6, so 10.
No, you don't notice anything other than just the normal patrons of the street.
Was there like a trail of blood or anything in a direction that he
It
was
looked
taken?
like he
or-
was maybe struck and then dragged out of the room, but it ended pretty soon after the doorway. So it looks like
Pretty good at tracking. I can try to see if I can pick up a trail.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
also
I could
Kelsey
send
and I
Gustav in
could-
there.
I've got his journal too. I haven't even taken a chance to read through this at all. But there's probably
If you want,
some information.
I can have Gustav sniff the blood and see if he can follow the trail. Or
Yeah, we can all
Kelsey
see
and-
if we can.
It's,
up a
it's up to
trail.
you. I don't want to overstep any boundaries.
We also might not want to go inside if he's concerned about us being. I mean, I didn't see anything, but that
Oh, it's just a
doesn't mean
dog.
it's
Just not us. Just a
Dog.
dog.
Right, it's a
Yeah,
magic
I'm
dog.
just a child.
It's a magic
Dogs-
flying dog, but there's people who are seeing right now, and if this
I think you've
clearly
proven
hasn't
you're
been
not just a
discovered
child.
yet.
Eh,
It
fair.
hasn't been discovered yet, which means if we are seen in there or if we're seen hanging around in there,
That's exactly my concern.
Yeah.
the
That's why-
timeline of the event means that we are implicated, and we're
That's why we send the
already-
giant dog.
Right, that would, but like, oh, you send a giant dog in.
Well, they wouldn't
Sure,
show.
no.
They wouldn't see me. I'm not gonna send the dog and be like, "Hey, go in there."
Was
But
anyone
walk away.
around right
you
now?
make it
If we just
appear
pop
right
in and
by the
pop
thing?
out.
No, but I can telepathically talk to it.
Yeah,
like-
let's pretend we don't know the dog.
yeah, we'll walk away. 10 minutes later, the dog will come back.
Okay, as long as we're not like standing out here and going like, "Go get it," like that would be a problem.
No, obviously not.
Is there anyone
Obviously.
like around right now?
Yes.
What do you mean around?
Like we're in the
Like, we're
old
standing in
temple
a street,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, you're standing in the
Like-
street. There are
So,
patrons
yeah.
moving around. Yeah,
Okay.
moving
Right.
about. Yeah, there's like two guardsmen that you can see within eyesight that are just like
Mhm.
patrolling the street. Don't really have any
Mhm.
interest in anybody. They're just patrolling.
Is there any reason why we can't tell the guards what's going on in there?
Why not?
We don't want to get
Tony
implicated.
Stromboli? What's your
Wait.
name? Randy Greestain?
I mean, other than I don't want us to like be implicated in this situation.
Well, if we're already being watched and we came in and there's a crime scene and now it's a bunch of people being like, oh, hey, there's this crime scene that we just happened to wander by, like,
Yeah.
How do you want to play
No.
this, Rev?
I guess we can report that. Yeah.
All right, I would
To the
suggest
guards?
that you be the reporter. You saw it.
I'll be the reporter, Rev. If you...
I can
Yeah, I can
report
go- I
it
can- I can
again.
talk
I
to
don't mind.
But one
I
of
can
you
be
has
a
to go in
child.
there. We have guards nearby. Again, timelines and things.
I
No,
can go in
first-
there and see if I pick up a trail and come out screaming because I'm a
Yeah,
child.
Before we get the guards involved, if you think you can glean some more, get a trail on this, that might be good.
Do we want to send? I just worry about your safety if it's just as recent as Rev said.
2 dogs?
That's true. I can
Wait,
also
I'm sorry,
just
are
be
we
a
starting
dog.
To a dog.
I'm sorry. Are we saying we're sending in Kelpie?
I don't think we should send him. Kelly.
That's a terrible. Kelpie, no offense. That's a terrible idea.
I track
I take
beasts
offense
for a
to that.
living. So everybody
no
knows.
offense.
What's up?
Let's
I
send in
also-
stuff first.
What'd you say, Ray?
I tracked beasts for a living. I don't know if that's helpful for this resume of like application to this task.
Did it look like a beast attack?
But I,
Well, just tracking is tracking,
yeah.
and we've both. I was the only one that was able to track down when we were in the forest with the tiger paws that one time, and people ran away.
That was super cool. We shouldn't send you in there alone.
Yeah,
Theodore.
no offense,
That's
Kelly.
all I'm saying.
I mean, didn't Rev just go? I mean, Grease, whatever your name is. Didn't he just go alone and come back fine just a
You're
minute
right,
ago?
but we didn't know that there was anything wrong in there. Now we do.
Well, I think Rev figured it out pretty quick. I mean, I think
All right. Well,
I
at
think
this
we figured it
point,
out
you're
pretty
now
quickly.
just standing outside of the temple, which is.
Let's take a walk.
I mean,
Just like gesturing towards it.
Wow, what a lovely
Pointing at
day.
it aggressively.
what do you guys do?
If we're gonna tell the guards, we gotta tell them right now. If we wait, we're gonna look
Yeah.
even more suspicious.
We should tell them, I think.
Yeah.
I think the person who went inside should say something. So it's not.
If you don't
like-
want to be eyes on you, I could go talk to him. I'm sure anybody else would be willing to go talk to the guards.
Rev is very clearly physically struggling now at this point in time, especially having a lot of decisions point to him.
Yeah.
And, he's very overwhelmed
Uh-huh.
because he did not come here looking for his dad, and now he needs to find
Yeah.
potentially his dad's killers, and he may be the cause of that. So he looks to all of you. I don't think I can talk to the guards. I don't know that I can make a decision right now, guys. I think I need your help.
I put my hand on Rev's shoulder and I look at him in the eye and I say, do you want the guards to be told or do you want us to just walk away?
If you will help me try and find my dad, I feel confident that we can do that. And I feel confident that we can just walk away.
I think we can
Let's
find
walk
your
away.
dad.
Let's
I
walk
think
away.
No.
All right. So where do you guys head? Or do you try to find a trail, or?
I was gonna say, do you want us to find a trail with Gustav
Yeah.
or Ray or
Yeah.
whoever wants to
Maybe Gustav is first in just to like scope things out.
see if there
and
is a
things
trail?
safe.
Yeah.
Go ahead and.
Fun.
We shouldn't go in the front door if we do that. Just for the record.
Sure.
There's no other
Um,
doors inside the
I was
building.
gonna say, there's knowing, the like outlaw.
It's just a temple.
of This building, yeah, it's a temple, and like I've been there before. Rev could say that there's not another.
Are there any? There's no windows or anything.
Stained glass windows.
Yeah.
Just real quick question, because I realized that like I never really got this description and like no one's really ever introduced me to Gustav. Does he look like a dog or is he like
Yeah, he
a-
just looks like a big old mastiff.
So like sometimes we just have this dog with us and sometimes we
Yeah.
don't.
Yep. I
Sometimes
mean, you know,
he's riding it.
and sometimes he's a horse. You've seen him.
Yeah.
You've seen Eric or Atticus transform him a couple of times.
Summon
You-
it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
No,
Okay.
he's very similar to what Tiny is to you, except he can change the way
gotcha.
he. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I realized like I just realized sometimes he is a dog and sometimes a horse, so I wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the spell find steed, just out of
Okay.
Yeah, and mastiffs are apparently considered a steed.
Okay, so I am gonna I'm gonna look to the group. Yes, thank you. I'm gonna look to the group, and I'm gonna look at Gustav, and I'm gonna be like, Gustav, it's you and me.
Yeah, this is what I'll do. Ray, roll a survival check at advantage because Gustav and Kelfie are helping you out, and then Gustav, roll a perception check at advantage for the same reasons.
I give Gustav guidance.
Is
Who's
that
a
a
good
D4?
boy? Yeah.
And, and they get advantage because Kelfie, you're not rolling, but you're helping both of them get advantage.
So it's
Gustav
at,
has
also-
advantage.
it's at advantage. You
anyways,
said.
Yeah, Gustav has advantage anyway because of the smell.
From smell.
No.
I got
also
a 22.
create a psychic link with
17.
Ray and
What's perception?
Atticus, so
Cool.
they, like when they're in there, can
19 or
talk to them.
19 for Gustav.
19
got
would
22.
22. Yeah. We'll say that
And I'm
you.
proficient, so.
Yeah, we'll say that you, for the sake of brevity, since we only have 10 minutes left, we'll say that you get into the room, not really causing any attention. You sneak in there with Gustav. Gustav gets a sniff of the blood. You start looking for tracks. You do actually see that there are boot prints that are very faint, but do exist in kind of like the dust of the ground, and then become much more visible when you see them outside in the hard-packed dirt, because it's there is some pavement, but there's also just like some dirt from the sheer amount of people walking around and dragging stuff from outside the city. So you can follow the butt. You can follow you can follow the butt. You can follow the boot prints, and Gustav
Follow
is
that
able to follow the smell. and it all leads you into the direction that you were actually headed already, towards the diamond in the rough. And you continue to head that way, and eventually make your way to the diamond in the rough. It is a very large 3-story building, which is quite tall for the city of Duskull. It is brightly lit, with a series of walled windows on the first, second, and third floor, making the inside very bright as well. Glass is something that is not super duper common in Erubrion yet, but it does exist, obviously, like stained glass and stuff like that. But clear glass is a little bit less available. But all these windows are very clear glass, which means they're probably magically made. And you see a large variety of people on the bottom floor around tables, talking and drinking, and on the second floor through the windows, you can see various various other tables, and it's more of a quiet area. There's a couple fireplaces on that floor, and then up at the top floor, the windows just show hallways with doors for the rooms of the Diamond in the Rough. Kelpie, make a perception check for me. Add advantage. Go ahead.
Sorry, are they all with us, or is it just the three of me, Gustav, and Kelpie?
I think everybody. I think everybody.
Because I would have, if they weren't, I would have sent the psychic connection to Brad to be like, "Hey, follow behind us."
Yeah. I think that you, and just in case people are implicated, you and Gustav might be a few feet ahead of everybody. But yeah, and then everybody else is kind of just walking like normal.
On the way, can I have made another perception check to see if there's anybody watching since we've left?
You wouldn't have noticed anybody. So because no one seems to be following you. So you walk up to the. Oh yeah, Kelpie. Perception check and advantage. Sorry, I forgot what I was having.
Thank goodness for advantage, because I turned that into a 23.
23. There is a side door to the Diamond of the Rough that is currently open, and light is flooding out the side of it. And there, leaning on a wall, you see a woman who is smoking a cigarette, and she's wearing a long green sparkling dress, and she has bright red hair, which is not something you're used to seeing, and is something that is a little bit off-putting at first. But you see all those slightly aged, the face of Verna Elderberry, smoking a cigarette, leaning up against the side door of the Diamond in the Rough. She turns, and she catches your eye. And her eyes go extremely wide. And she leans up from the wall, and she takes the cigarette, she throws it on the ground. Her mouth is agape, she puts it out. And then slowly a furrow appears in her brow, and her mouth drops, and a scowl flashes across her face as she scoffs and rolls her eyes and walks inside the building, closing the door. And that is where we will leave off for this week's session.
Nobody's mean to Kelpie. Nobody.
Kelpie just became the most important person in the show. No, you did not.
Real quick, Albert walks in there and kills her.
Thunderous snipe.
So that is where we will leave off for this week's session. We will come back next week for the continuation of what is going on with our party's parental issues, and how they can fix them, and will they ever all be fixed. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my god.
I'm very excited to see what happens next week. And we love you all, and as always, everybody say bye.
Bye.